Tonight, we're breaking down every evolution line of every Pokémon. This is a fascinating topic, but I'll keep my narration calm to ensure you can still drift off to sleep. Thank you to those of you who've been joining us consistently. If you're falling asleep with us tonight, let me know in the comments how many nights in a row you've been here. And if this is your first night, just comment night 1. Now back to the video. Imagine a world that is constantly in flux, where the very creatures inhabiting the forests, oceans, and mountains carry within them a dormant blueprint for change. In the world of Pokémon, growth is not merely a slow accumulation of days and years. It is a sudden, blinding flash of light that rewrites DNA and reshapes destiny. It is a metamorphosis that can be triggered by the simple act of gaining experience, the touch of a prehistoric stone, or the unspoken bond between a trainer and their partner. Since the first journey began in the Kanto region over 25 years ago, we have watched as a handful of simple creatures blossomed into a sprawling family tree of over 1,000 unique species. But behind every glow of evolution lies a story of adaptation, survival, and a deep, ancient lore that connects the tiniest bug in the grass to the gods who shaped the universe. The stakes of understanding these evolutionary lines go far beyond filling a digital encyclopedia. To understand how a Pokémon changes is to understand the history of the world itself. It's in the way a small timid Cubona wears the skull of its mother, only to eventually grow into a fierce Marowak that has mastered its grief. It's in the way a Magikarp, and a creature once mocked for its uselessness, taps into a reservoir of ancient, draconic rage to become the terrifying Gyarados. These aren't just shifts in power levels or new moves learned in battle. They are reflections of the environment, the climate, and the very soul of the Pokémon. When we look at the regional variants of Alola or Gala, evolution as a living response to the world, a way for life to persist in the face of volcanic heat or icy tundras. But as we peel back the layers of these transformations, mysteries begin to emerge that defy simple explanation. Why does a specific stone, buried deep within the earth for millions of years, cause an EV to suddenly radiate the heat of a star or the chill of a blizzard? What is the unseen force that allows a trade through a digital link to trigger a physical change in a Kadabra or a Machoke? And perhaps most hauntingly, what of those Pokémon whose evolution is born from tragedy? The souls of the fallen that congregate to form a Basculegion, or the ancient paradox forms that seem to exist outside the traditional flow of time? We are looking at a biological puzzle that spans from the primordial soup of the ancient oceans to the futuristic labs of the Paldea region. Tonight we are going on a journey through every single one of these lines. We will start at the very beginning, with the foundational 3-stage starters that defined our childhoods, and work our way through the complex, branched, and often bizarre methods of growth that have been discovered across 9 generations of exploration. We will look at the friendship that turns a Golbat into a Crobat, the beauty that transforms a Phoebus, and the strange gravity of specific locations that can rewrite a Pokémon's future. From the simplest level up to the most obscure requirements involving recoil damage and specific weather patterns, we will document the complete story of how they all change. As the world around you fades into a soft blur and the hum of the day-to-day quietens, let yourself be carried through the tall grass and across the vast regions of the Pokémon world. We are tracing the lineage of monsters and myths, uncovering the secrets held within their glowing forms. This is the definitive history of change, a quiet observation of a world where nothing stays the same for long, and where every ending is merely the beginning of a more powerful form. Prepare yourself for a deep dive into the heart of the Pokédex as we explore the incredible, shifting tapestry of life that defines the world of Pokémon. In the vast world of Pokémon, evolution isn't the slow crawl of natural selection you might expect from Earth's biology, where creatures adapt over eons through tiny genetic shifts. No, Here it's a sudden, radiant burst, a metamorphosis that reshapes a Pokémon in an instant, from fragile fledgling to towering force of nature. Picture a Caterpie shedding its skin, not gradually, but in a flash of light, emerging as a metapod, then unfurling into the graceful Butterfree, wings shimmering with fresh iridescence. This fundamental mystery sets Pokémon apart. Their changes defy the gradualism of Darwin, happening through bonds, battles, or ancient stones. As if some inner life force awakens all at once. Biologists on our world chart lineages through fossils and DNA, tracing fins to limbs over millions of years. But in Pokémon realms, it's different. A Pikachu doesn't sprout antlers through generations of mutation. It absorbs a thunderstone, and thunder cracks through its body, birthing Raichu in a surge of electric power. These transformations echo insect pupae or amphibian tadpoles, yet amplified, instantaneous, unbound by time. Pokédex scholars whisper of an energy woven into every Pokémon's essence, a spark that trainers ignite through shared trials. Why this way? Perhaps because Pokémon aren't mere animals. They're vessels of elemental fury, psychic might, or draconic fire, their forms dictated by harmony with the world's energies rather than blind survival. Deep in the lore, this mystery traces back to Mew, the elusive ancestor whispered about in ancient texts. Mew isn't just a myth, it's the genetic blueprint for all life in the Pokémon universe, a tiny pink phantom carrying the DNA of every species within its playful form. Legends say Mew floated through primordial mists long before humans walked Kanto's shores, its genes branching like roots into the first Pokémon families. From Mew's code sprang the diverse lines we know: fiery starters, watery fossils revived from stone, psychic prodigies. Scientists in Celadon City labs have chased this truth, cloning Mewtwo from Mew's cells, only to unleash a being that shattered expectations. Mew holds the key. All evolutions stem from that singular source, a living archive where Nidorann's poison mixes with Pidgey's flight, Eevee's adaptability hinting at Mew's infinite potential. Those earliest days when the world first catalogued 151 species in Kanto set the unbreakable rules of growth and maturity. No complex friendships or recoil tallies yet, just pure elemental simplicity that echoed nature's raw poetry. Bulbasaur would bask in sunlight, its bulb swelling until level 16, when it burst into Ivysaur, vines coiling like awakened serpents. Pushed to level 32, and Venusaur bloomed, a floral titan whose back garden roared with age-old power, petals unfurling to release sleep-inducing scents that could fell forests. Charmander's tail flame flickered brighter with every skirmish, evolving at 16 into Charmeleon's slashing claws, then at 36 into Charizard, wings blotting the sky as it soared on updrafts of its own inferno breath. Squirtle's shell hardened through watery trials, transforming at 16 into Wartortle's agile spins, then Blastoise at 36, cannons erupting from its shoulders like geysers under pressure. These weren't random. They established the level up as the heartbeat of maturity, battles etching experience into their very souls. Then came the stones, crystallized echoes of Mew's life force. Firestones igniting Vulpix into Ninetale's nine-tailed grace. Waterstones turning Poliwhirl's tadpole form into Poliwrath's muscled amphibian bulk. Or Leafstones coaxing Execute's cluster into Executor's palm tree crown. Heads swaying in tropical breezes. Trades added another layer, a bond beyond solitude. Abra meditated in captivity. But only through trainer exchange did Kadabra's spoon bend spoons with psychic fury, evolving further into Alakazam's genius, brains doubling under a massive skull. Eevee's line teased branching paths early, stones choosing Jolteon's spiky lightning, Flareon's blazing fur, or Vaporeon's fluid scales, foreshadowing the multiplicity Mew encoded. Even fossils bowed to these rules. Helix fossil hatched Omanite, spiraling into Omastar at 40. Tentacles, crushing prey in ancient seas revived. Carbone wandered graveyards clutching its mother's skull, evolving at 28 into Marowak. Bone Club whistling through the air with vengeful swings. Grimer oozed in polluted shadows, merging at level 38 into Mook's toxic sludge, capable of dissolving steel. These 151 weren't just creatures, they were the Genesis, their evolutions laying down laws that generations would build upon. Level thresholds as milestones of strength, stones as catalysts of change, trades as tests of trust. Yet woven through it all lingers Mew's shadow, that playful genetic wellspring. Fan scrolls from Cinnabar Island depict Mew dancing over bubbling gene pools, seeding the first Ratata's nibbles, Pidgey's winds, even the ghostly Ghastly's haunts. Without Mew, no Venusaur's bloom, no Charizard's roar. This blueprint ensured harmony. Grass yields to fire, water douses flame, in cycles mirroring life's grand design. As Kanto's rules solidified, certain lines hinted at deeper wonders. Oddish, rooted by moonlight, flipping diurnal norms to evolve into Gloom's stench at 21. Then Vileplume via Leafstone, petals poisoning the air. Paras clung to trees, infesting hosts until level 24 birthed Parasect, mushrooms puppeteering its husk like a fungal overlord. These set maturity's rhythm, growth through adversity, transformation as reward. Graveler tumbled mountainsides, but only traded did it compress into Golem's boulder form, rolling unstoppable. Haunter phased through walls, seeking trade's spark to solidify as Gengar, grinning shadows that chilled bones. The first 151 etched these patterns eternally. 3-stage journeys for powerhouses like the starters, 2 stages for swift risers like Raticate at 20, single forms like Ditto, Mew's shape-shifting echo mimicking all. In this genesis, metamorphosis emerged not as biology's grind, but poetry in motion. Mew's code pulsing through every change. And those rules from Kanto, they pulsed strongest in the starters, where grass, fire and water intertwined in a power of 3 that launched countless journeys. Up next in Chapter 2, the Kanto starters and the power of 3, we'll uncover how Bulbasaur, Charmander and Squirtle didn't just evolve, they forged the elemental trinity that balanced the world itself, their lines hiding secrets that still ripple through every region. From Mew's enigmatic blueprint, the seed of all Pokémon life takes its first tangible form in the sun-dappled labs of Kanto, where 3 tiny creatures wait to bond with their first human companions. Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle. These are no ordinary hatchlings. They embody the primal trinity of grass, fire and water, a balanced triad drawn straight from nature's own alchemy, ready to grow alongside a trainer through the wilds of Kanto's forests, caves and seas. Bulbasaur stirs first in your mind's eye, that plump green body with its bulbous back, a living plant pot pulsing with latent energy. Born from an egg cradled in the earth's embrace, it carries a seed symbiotic with its very soul, drawing sunlight and nutrients to fuel what lies ahead. As battles sharpen its instincts, reaching level 16 marks the turning point. The bulb cracks open, unfurling into Ivysaur, where the physical manifestation of elemental power truly awakens. Vines thick as ropes lash from its shoulders, the flower buds swelling with poisonous nectar that can ensnare foes in an instant. You've guided it through early skirmishes against Pidgey flocks and Rattata swarms, each victory a step in your shared ascent. But the journey presses on. By level 32, under your careful watch, Ivysaur blooms fully into Venusaur, a colossal behemoth whose back now supports a massive flower radiating solar energy. Petals quiver with absorbed light, unleashing solar beam blasts that scorch the afternoon sky, while razor leaves slice through steel. This isn't mere growth, it's the trainer's odyssey etched in levels. from fragile starter to forest guardian, mirroring your own rise from Pallet Town novice to league challenger. Venusaur's weighty steps shake the ground, its aroma lulling wild Pokémon into submission, a testament to how Mew's genetic whisper evolves into dominion over verdant realms. Now feel the heat rising as Charmander flicks its tail flame in the dim glow of Professor Oak's lab. This fiery lizard, small enough to cradle in one hand, harbours a tale that burns eternal. Dimming means death, a fragile spark demanding your protection through rainy nights and desperate fights. Level 16 ignites the change. Charmeleon emerges, claws elongating into slashing weapons, scales hardening as its inner blaze surges visibly through its throat and eyes. Here, elemental power takes brutal form, flames coiling around its limbs like living serpents, ready to melt ice or char flesh. Push further with it, through rocky gyms and endless routes, and at level 36, Charmeleon erupts into Charizard. Wings unfurl like thunderheads, propelling it skyward on thermals of its own making, while blue-white flames from its maw warp the air with infernal heat. This dragon soars over Indigo Plateau, a symbol of your unyielding bond, each level a milestone carved from defeats turned triumphs. From that first timid ember to breaths that rival volcanic fury, Charizard's roar echoes your ambition, turning the skies into your battlefield. Then there's Squirtle, the steadfast turtle withdrawing into its shell at the first sign of trouble, jets of water already propelling it across ponds with playful precision. Its calm demeanour hides a reservoir of pressure building within, perfect for dousing flames or blasting boulders. Hit level 16 and Wartortle surfaces, shoulders broadening, ears perking into radar-like fins, those pressurized cannons on its arms, now manifesting water's raw elemental might, unleashing hydro pumps that carve rivers from dry earth. Your partnership deepens through aquatic trials and coastal clashes, culminating at level 36 in Blastoise. Cannons triple in power, each shoulders mounting massive barrels that thunder forth torrents capable of sinking ships or shielding allies in cascading walls. This armoured titan trudges through waves, its shell a fortress etched with battle scars, embodying the level-based milestones of a trainer's journey, from splashing starter to oceanic overlord, each evolution a wave cresting higher under your command. Together, these three trace the iconic progression of Bulbasaur, Charmander and Squirtle, a deliberate harmony of opposites that no Kanto trainer can forget. Grass tempers fire, water quenches grass, fire evaporates water, the power of three in perfect cycle, forcing you to adapt strategies across gyms from Brock's Rocks to Blaine's Infernos. Their paths aren't random. Level 16 and beyond serve as gates, battle-earned thresholds representing your own evolution as a trainer, from wide-eyed beginner collecting 8 badges to the Pokémon League summit. Delve deeper into their lore, and Pokédex whispers reveal ancient ties. Bulbasaur's bulb, they say, absorbs the sun's rays even at night through mystical osmosis, hinting at solar deities in Kanto's forgotten myths. Charmander's flame, birthed from its mother's dying blaze passed to the egg, carries ancestral fire spirits that flare brightest in loyalty. Squirtle's shell hardens with absorbed minerals from primordial seas, linking it to Kabuto fossils unearthed nearby. In the anime, Ash's own starters wrestled these changes. Charizard's rebellious flight, a raw display of will clashing with evolution's pull, only tamed through unbreakable synergy. Manga tales in Pokémon Adventures paint even richer strokes. Red's Venusaur tanking earthquakes, with leech seed roots delving miles deep. Blue's Blastoise pulverizing mechs with Skullbash charges. These aren't just type advantages, they're philosophical pillars. The grassline roots you in patience and growth. Fire demands passion and risk. Water teaches resilience and flow. Trainers who master this trio don't just win battles, they internalize the world's balance, much like Mew's blueprint fractals into every Pokémon lineage. Yet shadows linger in their perfection. Why do Venusaur's flowers wilt under pollution, forcing migrations to cleaner wilds? Charizard's overexertion risks extinguishing its own tail in prolonged flights, a peril only Megastones later mitigate. Blastoise withdraws deepest in defeat, our shells cracking under psychic strain. These vulnerabilities remind us evolution is no straight path. It's forged in the trainer's journey, levels stacking like badges on your case. As this trinity's flames, vines and waves converge in your mind, a new catalyst beckons, one that shatters level limits and awakens stones pulsing with concentrated life force. In Chapter 3, Stones of Power and Elemental Catalysts, will uncover how these crystalline keys twist evolutions into dazzling branches, from Pikachu's thunderous spark to the rainbow cascades that redefine Kanto's legacy. Stay with me as the Earth's buried energies begin to glow. While the Kanto starters forge their paths through the steady climb of levels, mirroring a trainer's unyielding journey, other Pokémon stirred with a different kind of power, and one hidden in the Earth's veins and the sky's fury. Deep in the crags of Kanto's mountains and along its mist-shrouded coasts, explorers unearthed the first stones of true metamorphosis, crystals pulsing with elemental essence that could shatter genetic locks in an instant. These weren't mere rocks but conduits of ancient energy, forged in the planet's core where fire meets water and leaf cradles thunder. The discovery of the Moonstone, Firestone, Waterstone, Leafstone, and Thunderstone in the Kanto region marked a turning point, revealing that evolution wasn't always a gradual bloom, but a sudden ignition. Miners in the Cerulean Cave first glimpsed the Moonstone's pale glow, its surface etched with craters like a shard of the night sky itself. Trainers soon learned it awakened the latent grace in Nidorina, transforming her into the regal Nidoqueen, her body swelling with armoured might and a horn that pierced the darkness. Clefairy, too, bathed in its light, shed her playful whimsy for Clefable's ethereal wings, drifting like a comet through moonlit forests, her songs echoing prophecies of forgotten lunar gods. Not far from the scorching peaks of Cinnabar, the Firestone emerged from volcanic ash, its core a perpetual ember that whispered of primal flames. Vulpix, the sly fox kit with a single flickering tail, pressed against it and erupted into 9 tails, her 6 tails fanning into a blaze that could summon blizzards from pure heat paradox, a testament to fire's deceptive chill. Growlithe followed suit, his loyal frame hardening into the majestic Arcanine, legs like pistons thundering across plains, he's evoking legends of a 1,000-year guardian born from a single spark. Along the shores where waves crashed against Route 8's cliffs, divers pried the Waterstone from coral-encrusted depths, its facets rippling like captured ocean breath. Poliwhirl, the swirling tadpole warrior, absorbed its essence and bulked into Poliwrath, fists like tidal hammers, skin glistening with the unyielding force of submerged realms. Staryu spun in its aura, evolving to Starmie, a psychic starfish whose core pulsed with gem-like intellect, scanning the seas for secrets buried in abyssal trenches. Hidden in the verdant underbelly of Viridian Forest, the leafstones sprouted from root-woven soil, vibrant green and veined with chlorophyll's pulse. Execute, the cluster of psychic eggs, cracked open under its touch into Executor, a walking palm tree whose head swayed in perpetual debate, coconut skulls harbouring tropical storms of thought. Weeping Bell unfurled into Victreebel, a flytrap maw dripping acidic nectar, luring prey with the scent of sun-ripened allure amid Kanto's humid groves. And atop the storm-lashed heights of Route 25, the Thunderstone crackled into existence, yellow veins forking like captive lightning. Pikachu, the electric mouse with cheeks sparking defiance, touched it and roared into Raichu, a behemoth tail grounding bolts that split boulders, his girth a battery of raw amperage. Eve's Jolteon path ignited here too, but that story simmers differently, as we'll uncover. These stones, scattered like forgotten gifts from Arceus's forge, demanded no levels or battles, just contact, a momentary union that rewrote destinies. Yet their power carried weight, for the change they wrought was eternal, a one-way rift in the Pokémon's very soul. Once the crystal's energy fused with flesh and spirit, reversal became myth. Poliwrath could never shrink back to tadpole innocence, nor Ninetales dim her tails to a single flame. Pokédex scholars whisper of lore implications, profound as the underworld. This permanence symbolized commitment, the trainer's vow etched in unbreakable form. In ancient Kanto tales, stones were crystallized life force from mega-evolutions long past, echoes of Rayquaza's fury or Mewtwo's genesis, binding evolutions to elemental covenants that echoed through bloodlines. A Vulpix denied her Firestone might wander forever in limbo, but acceptance sealed her as legend incarnate, her Ninetales a banner against entropy. Amid this symphony of singular sparks, one Pokémon danced on the edge of chaos. Eve, the genetic wildcard whose unstable structure baffled even the brightest minds in Celadon labs. Why did this fluffy enigma possess such volatile DNA, a blueprint twisting like fog in wind? Theories rooted in Mew's ancient legacy point to Eevee as a remnant of the progenitor's raw code, unrefined and brimming with potential forks. Her genes, a mosaic of elemental affinities, quivered under stress. Fire's heat, water's flow, thunder's jolt, even shadows whisper, refusing the rigid paths of her kin. In Kanto's labs, professors pondered her as a bridge species, evolved from primordial adaptability when oceans receded and skies split. Her instability, a survival trait from eras when environments shifted overnight, expose her to a thunderstone, and she becomes Jolteon, spines crackling with static fury, yellow fur a storm cloud incarnate. A waterstone yields Vaporeon, sleek and finned, gills filtering toxins from urban rivers, her mermaid form gliding through Celadon's fountains like a siren of the sewers. Firestone births Flareon, fluffy armor blazing internally, heat vents singeing foes while her gaze melts resolve. This instability wasn't flaw, but fortune, allowing trainers to sculpt destiny with Stone's kiss. Yet permanence loomed again. Evolve Eve once, and her flux stabilized forever, Jolteon's speed eclipsing all retreat. Lore paints her as the catalyst queen, her evolutions hinting at a multiverse of forms yet to come. Shadows of Sylveon or Leafeon lurking in unstable strands. Imagine the weight, a choice that echoes eternally. Trainer and companion fused in elemental oath. Kanto's stones reshaped battles and bonds alike, turning wild encounters into orchestrated ascensions. A lone Growlithe in the wild might slumber unchanged, but under a trainer's guidance and fire's embrace, she bounds as Arcanine, wind howling in her wake. Executor's heads argue philosophy under leafy canopy. Victreeble's traps snap with jungle precision. Each stone, a key to vaults of power, long sealed. As these elemental catalysts illuminated Kanto's paths, another force emerged, one demanding trust beyond solitude. The exchange of souls across distances, forging evolutions through unbreakable partnerships. In our next chapter, Trading and the Bond of Connection, we'll uncover how a simple handover unlocked psychic peaks and armored titans, whispering secrets of loyalty that stones alone could never touch. While stones like the Leaf Stone unlocked paths for Eve and others with their volatile genetics, whispering ancient energies into unstable forms, not every Pokémon bends to such solitary catalysts. Some demand a deeper exchange, a handoff from one trainer to another, as if their transformation hinges on the spark of shared journeys. In the early days of Kanto's wild frontiers, trainers noticed peculiar refusals. Kadabra, with its piercing gaze and spoons bent by sheer psychic will, would stall at that stage, its mind teetering on the edge of infinity but never crossing. No level grind, no stone's glow could push it further. Only when passed to another pair of hands, traded across a link cable's invisible bridge, did it erupt into alakazam, intellect doubling, spoons multiplying into weapons of telekinetic fury. This wasn't coincidence. It marked the first whispers of a profound truth. Some Pokémon only change when passed between trainers. Machoke carried the same quiet insistence. Picture a wrestler fresh from the mountains, muscles rippling like forged steel, forearms itching for a power it couldn't claim alone. It trained endlessly, peaks scaled, battles won, yet evolution eluded it. Traded to a new partner though, and Machamp emerged, a colossus of raw force, belts straining against 8 limbs ready to crush boulders or foes alike. Graveler rolled the same enigma across craggy paths, tumbling through caves, absorbing minerals until its rocky hide gleamed like armoured granite. But fusion into Golem, that demanded the trade's ritual, birthing a behemoth that shrugged off earthquakes and avalanches. And then Haunter, the shadowy jester of haunted towers, grinning with gaseous malice, phasing through walls to snatch souls. It toyed with prey eternally at that form, until the trade's exchange lit its core, unleashing Gengar, a spectre of nightmares, cackling as it devoured light itself. These 4, Alakazam, Machamp, Golem and Gengar, stand as the social evolutionary peaks, pinnacles reached not in isolation, but through the weave of human Pokémon bonds extended across trainers. Researchers in Celadon City's labs pored over this pattern, their Pokédex scanners humming late into the night. Why these? Why trades? The theory they forged spoke of energy transfer during the process. When 2 trainers link their devices, it's more than data swapping. It's a surge of life force, a harmonious pulse where one Pokémon's accumulated essence mingles with the receiving trainer's aura. Kadabra's psychic reservoirs, brimming but bottled, overflow in that moment, amplified by the new bond's fresh synergy. Machoke's physical might, pent up like a spring, uncoils with the traded vitality, forging extra arms from shared exertion. Graveler's mineral lattice, dense and unyielding, crystallizes fully only when infused with the traded energy's jolt, turning pebbles to impenetrable shell. Haunter's ethereal plasm, drifting and unstable, solidifies into Gengar's toxic heart through that cross-trainer infusion, as if the ghost feeds on the emotional tether between partners. Pokédex entries hint at this. Alakazam's brain triples in power post-trade, processing 1 trillion calculations per second. Machamp's grip the Hataz Diamond. Golem withstands magma flows. Gengar slips into shadows to curse the living, all unlocked by that fleeting connection. This bond ripples deeper. Imagine a young trainer in Saffron, clutching a Kadabra that's plateaued despite countless gym spars. Desperation leads to the Pokémon Center's trade machine, a glowing pod humming with anticipation. The screen flickers. Your partner sends Haunter, theirs offers Machoke. Buttons press, lights whirl, and in seconds new forms emerge, stronger, fiercer, forever altered. The traded Pokémon doesn't just gain levels. It inherits echoes of the sender's battles, a subtle imprint of foreign experiences that catalyzes the leap. Scientists dubbed it resonant evolution, where the trade mimics natural migrations. Pokémon leaping rivers or skies to join new herds, evolving through communal energies. In the wild, perhaps ancient Graveler clusters traded minerals via seismic shakes, foreshadowing human facilitation. Alakazam's line, born of Abra's teleporting nomadism, thrives on psychic networks, the trade a digital hive mind pulse. Machamp's forebears wrestled in arenas, victors claiming allies' strength. Golem's geodes pulsed with Earth's traded tremors. Gengar's haunting spread via possessed wanderers, ghostly trades across the veil. Yet this revelation reshaped training philosophy. No longer solitary grinds, evolution became relational, a testament to trust. Trainers formed networks, swapping mid-journey to unlock peaks others chased in vain. Rivals became allies in evolution's dance, their bonds forging legends. whispers spread of perfect trades. Eye-level evolutions gleaming with extra power, as if the energy transfer carried bonus vigor from well-bonded donors. Even lore weaves this thread. In forgotten Kanto scrolls, sages described soul bridges where Pokémon spirits leap bodies during trades. Much like human friendships ignite growth, Alakazam, Guardian of Minds, evolves to counsel multiple trainers. Machamp, the Unbreakable Guard, multiplies limbs for collective defense. Golem, Earth's Sentinel, hardens for communal earthquakes. Gengar, Mischief's King, haunts pranks across alliances. Their peaks aren't solitary crowns, but shared thrones. As Kanto's mysteries unfolded, eyes turned northward to Johto's misty vales, where evolutions whispered of even subtler ties. Chapter 5, Johto and the Discovery of Friendship, unveils how hearts alone could spark change, drawing Crobat from Golbat's wings and more. What hidden affections await in those evolutions, pulling you deeper into the night's lore, while trading forged connections between trainers, revealing evolutions like Alakazam that demanded a handoff to reach their psychic pinnacle. Johto took this idea further into the heart itself. Here, in the misty valleys and bustling ports of this eastern land, Pokémon began to change not just through exchange, but through the quiet warmth of unwavering friendship. Picture the cozy glow of Professor Elm's laboratory in New Barktown, where shelves brim with tomes on Pokémon biology, and the air hums with the soft whir of research equipment. Elm, with his gentle demeanour and wire-rimmed glasses, dedicated his life to unravelling the emotional bonds between human and Pokémon. He observed how these ties, nurtured over countless shared adventures, could reshape a creature's very essence. It wasn't mere levels or stones that drove change anymore. It was trust, loyalty, kind that blooms in the silence after a battle, or the comfort of a Pokémon Center bed. Take the Zubat line, those echoing bats of the dark caves. A Zubat starts as a fleeting shadow, evolving into Golbat at level 22, its wings stretching wide for supersonic dives. But Golbat stalls there, fierce yet solitary, its Pokédex noting a selfish streak that keeps it from true flight. Elm's studies showed that only profound happiness, built from battling side by side, soothing with massages, or sharing berries and vitamins, triggers the transformation of Golbat into Crobat. This final form emerges with 4 fully developed wings, a testament to devotion. Crobat flies at speeds unseen before, its loyalty so deep it forsakes cunning for camaraderie. Trainers whispered of Goldeen, who evolved after days of gentle grooming, or Eevee lines that shifted under the weight of pure affection. Johto's married this discovery across the region, influencing fledglings like Pichu, whose electric sparks grow steadier with a trainer's encouragement, evolving into Pikachu through joyful friendship rather than raw levels alone. Clefairy and Igglybuff followed suit, their babyish forms maturing into Clefairy and Jigglypuff when bonds deepened. Even Togepi, that enigmatic egg hatched from mystery, unfurls into Togetic only when happiness overflows, its wings a symbol of the joy it mirrors back to its companion. Yet Johto's innovations didn't stop at emotion's glow. The cycle of day and night, long a subtle force in Pokémon habitats, now wove into evolutions with deliberate precision. Eevee, that adaptable fox whose genetic instability made it a canvas for stones in Kanto, gained new paths here. Exposed to high friendship during the sun's reign, it becomes Espeon, its fur shimmering purple, tail forked like a divining rod, eyes gleaming with precognitive sight. The Pokédex describes Espeon rubbing against its trainer to read auras, sinking heartbeats under daylight's embrace. But linger until dusk falls over Johto's lantern-lit paths, and the same devoted Eevee darkens into Umbreon. Its rings pulse with eerie yellow light, fur black as midnight, a nocturnal guardian whose toxic spikes defend the one it cherishes most. Elm noted how these evolutions honored the world's rhythm. Solar energy fueling psychic grace, lunar shadows forging defensive might. Trainers in Ecruteak City shared tales of Eevee, waiting at the Tin Tower's base, choosing its fate by the hour of their deepest connection. These friendship evolutions ripple through Yoto's wilds. Yanma's wings beat faster into Yanmega, with ancient power unlocked by bonds, while Slugma's molten core hardened into Magcargo under affectionate heat. The region's Pokédex brimmed with hints. Wooper to Quagsire at level 20, but true depth in the unseen metrics of morale. Even Steelix, once a traded Onyx, now gleamed brighter if happiness paved the way alongside the metal coat. In Violet City's gym or the depths of Dark Cave, you'd feel it, the shift from mechanical triggers to something alive, pulsing. Elm's findings painted evolution as a dance of souls, where a Pokémon's hidden happiness value, tracked invisibly through victories, rest and rare candies, crested into change. A Golbat perched on your shoulder, its ears twitching less selfishly each day, until one dawn it soars as Crobat, free and fierce for you alone. Johto taught us that Pokémon aren't just partners, they're mirrors of our care. As the sun dips behind Mount Silver, casting long shadows over Elm's notes, these bonds redefined growth. But wait until you hear how this evolutionary tale twisted next, with forms that step backward into infancy, unlocking secrets long buried. That's Chapter 6, Pre-Evolution Revolution, while Professor Elm delved into the subtle glow of happiness that turned Golbat into the loyal Crobat. Something far more primal was stirring in the quiet corners of Yoto. Trainers leaving their Pokémon at the daycare near Route 34 began noticing eggs appearing where none had been left. Fragile shells cradling new life that hatched into forms so tiny and delicate. They seemed like whispers of the evolutionary process itself. These weren't just any hatchlings. In the golden light of Gold and Silver's world, the very first baby Pokémon emerged. Fragile precursors that appended everything trainers thought they knew about where lines began. Pichu, with its sparking cheeks barely able to muster a spark. Leffa the starry-eyed bouncer too wobbly to float like its Clefairy kin. And Igglybuff, whose puffs of song were more sigh than melody. These little ones couldn't evolve through levels alone. They needed the soothing rhythm of friendship to mature, echoing Elm's discoveries, but pulling them back to infancy. Picture the daycare couple, that unassuming old pair by the water's edge, their fences dotted with grazing Pokémon from across the region. Trainers dropped off weary companions after grueling badge quests, expecting rest and a bit of leveling. But when they returned, alongside leveled-up partners came eggs, smooth and pearlescent, warm to the touch. No one knew why at first. Was it the fertile soil of Yoto's plains? The couple's secret blend of berries? Whispers spread through Newbark Town that Pokémon, when left alone together, formed bonds deeper than any trainer could forge, leading to these miraculous births. The breeding mechanics unveiled in Yoto revealed a hidden layer to Pokémon reproduction, one tied not to wild encounters, but to compatibility. Leave two Pokémon of different genders but same egg group, like a Pikachu and a Marill, and after some patient wandering, an egg would appear. Ditto, that shape-shifting oddity from Kanto, could stand in for any bridging gaps between species. Hatch the egg, and out tumbled not the full base form, but these babies for certain lines, demanding extra care to reach what was once considered the starting point. Secrets of the Pokémon daycare deepened as researchers pieced it together. The facility wasn't just a babysitter, it was a cradle for evolution's origins. In Crystal's enhanced world, even more eggs cycled through, hinting at held items influencing outcomes. Though those mechanics would bloom later, trainers learned to pair wisely, electric with fairy groups for Pichu, or the ever-compatible monster group yielding Cubone eggs. But the true revelation lay in how these babies redefined the dawn of every line they touched. Pikachu, that electric mascot once the epitome of a starter's spark, now hatched from Pichu, its evolutions pushed back one step. Clefairy's lunar grace began with Clefairy's innocent gaze. Jigglypuff's hypnotic tunes originated in Igglybuff's gentle hums. This pre-evolution revolution stretched across Yoto's roster, inserting youth where maturity once ruled unchallenged. Tyrug scampered as a baby Hitmonline starter, its punches too feeble for the fighting dojos yet. Smoochum puckered lips that would one day charm with ice, Elekid crackling with toddler thunder. Even legend-adjacent lines like Togepi, the spiked egg of happiness itself, entered as babies, evolving through shimmering friendship into the serene Togetic and beyond. These weren't retrofits or accidents. Game Freak wove them into the fabric, making evolutionary trees branch downward into cradles. Why babies at all? Pokédex entries painted them as the purest essence. Pichu's tiny sparks fly when it gets happy. Clefairy's moonlight makes it more active. Igglybuff's voice so sweet, listeners fall asleep. They embodied vulnerability, forcing trainers to nurture rather than battle grind from the outset. In the anime, Ash's Togepi hatched amid chaos, its cries a beacon of innocence amid Team Rocket's schemes. Manga tales showed breeders safeguarding eggs through storms, uncovering that day cares across regions. Kanto's even had one tucked in Cerulean, held the same potential, though Yoto ignited the spark. Breeding's discovery rippled outward, challenging the linear march of levels and stones. Suddenly, a Pikachu wasn't just caught wild. It could be bred pure, its Pichu offspring inheriting moves from either parent, IVs cherry-picked for competitive dreams. The daycare's secrets extended to EXP sharing. Pokémon left there gained levels passively, eggs hatching stronger in later cycles. Trainers in the know exploited this, filling boxes with breeding pairs, the soft clucks and growls harmonizing into a symphony of new beginnings. Yet this revolution begged deeper questions. If babies redefined the beginning of an evolutionary line, what hidden potentials lurked in divergences, yet unexplored? Yoto's breeders whispered of paths that split like Wurmple's silk, choices masked by personality or stone, waiting for the next generation to unravel. As we drift toward Chapter 7, Branched Paths and Hidden Potential, you'll uncover how these forks in the road turned single destinies into webs of possibility, where one Pokemon's journey could lead to thunder, flames, or waves in an instant, while the Pokemon Daycare revealed how baby Pokemon like Pichu and Clefairy could be nurtured into their more familiar forms. Some juveniles carry an even greater mystery within them, their futures splintering into multiple destinies based on hidden traits or fateful encounters. Take Tyrogue, the scrappy little fighter born from the union of two battling parents in the daycare. This baby Pokemon trains relentlessly from the moment it hatches, pounding away at tree trunks or shadows just to build its strength. But as it nears evolution around level 20, its path diverges dramatically, determined by which physical stat reigns supreme in its tiny frame. If Tyrogue's attack power outstrips its defense, it stretches and elongates into the kicking specialist Hitmonlee, its legs becoming impossibly long and powerful, capable of delivering blows that shatter boulders like dry leaves. Picture those extendable limbs whipping through the air, fueled by a lifetime of martial discipline, echoing the ancient fighting styles whispered in Yoto dojos. Should defense dominate instead, Tyrogue bulks up into Hitmonchan, the puncher with fists like flaming pistons, channeling fire, ice or thunder through rapid jabs that mimic pro boxing legends. And in the rare balance where attack and defense stand equal, it spins into Hitmontop, the top-like acrobat who balances on a single pointed foot, using centrifugal force to unleash devastating topside kicks, while shrugging off hits that would fell lesser foes. This Tyrogue conundrum highlights how a Pokemon's innate potential, owned through battles and training, dictates its final form, turning one baby into 3 elite warriors, each a master of a different combat art. These branched paths weren't always so nuanced. Back in the early days of Kanto research, evolution seemed straightforward, but explorers in Yoto began uncovering Pokemon whose changes hinged on serendipity or symbiosis. Consider Slowpoke, the perpetually dopey pink creature lounging on shores with a tail that fishermen swear tastes like the sweetest candy. Left to its own devices, Slowpoke evolves at level 37 into Slowbro. But here's where the dual destiny unfolds. If a wild shelder clamps onto its tail just right during that pivotal moment, the bivalve fuses permanently, granting Slowpoke enhanced psychic powers and transforming it into Slowking, the regal hermit with a shelder crown pulsing like a second brain. Pokédex entries describe the bite injecting a neurotoxin that awakens latent intelligence, turning a dim-witted drifter into a Scolly sovereign who commands the seas with telekinetic grace. Imagine the scene on a misty Tangela coast, Slowpoke spacing out as Shelder lunges, their union sparking a glow that ripples across the water, birthing a guardian whose yawn can induce eternal slumber in intruders. This fusion mechanic echoes older Kanto lines that later revealed hidden branches through new discoveries. Poliwhirl, the swirling tadpole evolved from Poliwag, and Poliwhirl via steady level-ups, once seemed destined solely for Poliwrath, the muscled amphibian warrior empowered by a waterstone plunge in some harbour. Yet Yoto sages found that if Poliwhirl holds a king's rock during a trade, mimicking the ripple of ancient royal decrees, it crowns itself Politoad, a jolly frog monarch with hypnotic belly patterns and thunderous cries that summon rainstorms. Similarly, Gloom, the noxious bloom from Oddish's nocturnal growth, could wilt into Vileplume under a leaf stone's verdant energy, but exposing it to a sunstone instead unfurls Bellossom, the hula dancing petals that purify air and soothe with rhythmic dances under tropical suns. These alternative peaks for established Kanto lines show how overlooked items and conditions unlock parallel evolutions, expanding a single lineage into diverse royals and performers. As if the Pokémon world itself branches like a great world tree, researchers pored over these revelations in Elm's lab, cross-referencing fossils and ancient scrolls. Tyrogue's stat-based split-mirrored Wurmple's personality-driven fork from Hoenn, but here in Yoto, it felt personal, tied to the fighter's grit. Slowking's Shelder symbiosis drew from deep-sea lore, where bivalves were said to guard psychic pearls, their biter pact sealed in salt water. Politoad and Bellossom, meanwhile, evoked festival tales, frogs drumming under cherry blossoms, flowers twirling in moonlit ceremonies, proving evolution isn't linear but a web of possibilities, waiting for the right catalyst. Trainers who mastered these paths spoke of the thrill. A Tyrogue pushed to its limits in the fighting dojo, stats measured by sweat and scars. A Slowpoke dangled from a pier until Shelder struck true. A Poliwhirl traded with a shimmering rock, emerging belly shaking and rain calling. Even in the anime, Misty's Poliwhirl hesitated at the Waterstone, only later branching in dreams of kingship. These mechanics deepened the bond, forcing you to attune to your Pokémon's essence, whether raw power, defensive shell, or harmonious balance. As Yoto's secrets unfolded, whispers from Southern Isles hinted at even wilder divergences, where nature's beauty sculpted evolutions in lush jungles and coral reefs. Up next in Chapter 8, Hoenn and the Beauty of Nature, we'll explore how Trico's vines twist into emerald blades and Torchic's embers blaze into phoenix fury, uncovering rainforests alive with transformations that make Johto's branches seem mere sprouts, while the rigid stats of Tyrogue carved its path towards swift kicks, crushing punches, or spinning strikes, and Slowpoke discovered dual fates in the cling of a Shelder or the gift of a king's rock. Scientists sailing into Hoenn's emerald coastlines unearthed evolutions that pulsed with the island's untamed vitality. This southern paradise, where vines draped ancient ruins and waves crashed against volcanic shores, revealed how nature's splendor could reshape Pokémon forms in ways both predictable and profoundly mysterious. Deep in the humid heart of Hoenn's rainforests, the first true natives emerged as the region's starter trio, embodying the tropical South's fierce harmony of leaf, flame, and tide. Trico, the woodgecko Pokémon, clung to towering trunks with adhesive toes, its tail bulb storing solar energy like a living battery amid the dappled sunlight filtering through canopies thick with orchids and ferns. As battles honed its agility, Trico shed its juvenile scales at level 16, sprouting into Grovyle, whose leaf-fringed arms sliced air like scythes, and whose eyes gleamed with predatory focus. But true mastery bloomed at level 36, when Grovyle transcended into Sceptile, a serpentine guardian whose tail blades hummed with mega drain vitality, drawing life from foes under Hoenn's relentless sun. Pokédex scholars noted Sceptile's seeds, fired from its tail at bullet speeds, could pierce steel plates, a testament to how Hoenn's flora forged weapons from whispers of wind and rain. Nearby, in sun-baked clearings where lava flows met sandy beaches, Torchic scratched the earth for berries, its chick down flickering with inner fire that warmed companions through tropical storms. This tiny blaze Pokémon evolved at level 16 into Combusken, striding on powerful legs that kicked up embers, blending paltry ferocity with martial grace as its flames hardened into fighting resolve. By level 36, Combusken ignited fully into Blaziken, towering with Blaze Kick Infernos and high jump kicks that shattered boulders, its wrist flames roaring like beacons across misty mornings. Trainers whispered of Blaziken's speed rivaling Hoenn's legendary Latios, a fiery phoenix risen from the south's volcanic cradle, where every scorch mark on obsidian rock told of evolutions fueled by Earth's molten breath. And from the mangrove swamps where rivers bled into turquoise seas, Mudkip paddled with a finned tail that propelled it through murky currents, its gill-like cheeks filtering oxygen from floodwaters swollen by monsoons. At level 16, it bulked into Marshtomp, amphibious might merging water and ground as mudshot blasts churned sediment into armor, its stance rooted like cypress knees in the swamp's embrace. Level 36 unleashed Swampert, a behemoth whose earthquake stomps liquefied terrain and whose sheer force cascades drowned armies, embodying Hoenn's tidal power where ocean met fault lines. These three lines, gifted by Professor Birch amid rustling palms, wove the tropical South's essence into every trainer's journey, their evolutions a symphony of growth mirroring the island's cycle of storm, bloom, and rebirth. Yet Hoenn's secrets delved deeper into the undergrowth, where even the humblest crawlers harbored codes etched in their very essence. Wurmple, the worm Pokémon, inched along leaf litter, veined with dew, its horn injecting irritants to deter predators in the rustle of unseen threats. But this unassuming larva held a hidden genetic code, a personality value buried in its data stream, dictating whether survival meant sleek speed or armored bulk, depending on this invisible trait, tied to its core speed or defense inclinations. Wurmple spun its cocoon at level 7 into either Silcoon, a pale chrysalis pulsing with metamorphic light, or Cascoon, a hardened shell camouflaged against bark. Silcoon, favouring agility, burst forth at level 10 into Beautifully, wings iridescent as tropical butterflies sipping nectar from passion flowers, scattering gusts of silver wind. Cascoon, resilient and defensive, emerged as Dustox, moth-like with toxic powders drifting like evening mist, poisoning rivals under moonlit vines. This branching, Hoenn's first glimpse of personality-driven destiny, revealed how a Pokémon's innate quirks could rewrite its lineage, turning a single worm into emblems of fragile beauty or nocturnal menace. In Hoenn's crystalline rivers and hidden atolls, where sunlight danced on coral labyrinths, evolution demanded not just strength or bonds, but an elusive quality, beauty. Feebas, the hagfish Pokémon, flopped through polluted shallows, its mottled scales and vacant stare earning it disdain among fishermen who overlooked its potential. Scattered in specific watery tiles across vast routes, Feebas demanded meticulous care, fed prism scales or groomed with poffins to elevate its aesthetic contours, until its beauty stat crested perfection. Only then, through trade or serene leveling, did it uncoil into Milotic, the tender Pokémon, whose scales shimmered like pearls, radiating calming waves that soothed savage hearts. Pokédex lore sang of Milotic's gaze melting anger, its elegant coils mirroring Hoenn's bioluminescent lagoons, where grace conquered ugliness. This transformation, requiring a trainer's devotion to nurture hidden elegance, proved that true evolution in nature's beauty lay not in ferocity alone, but in polishing the soul until it gleamed. Hoenn's evolutions, from gecko blades to fiery kicks, larval codes to scaly serenades, celebrated the tropics' wild poetry, where every leaf quiver and wave crest hid a metamorphosis waiting to unfold. As you let these tales of verdant isles wash over you, feel the warmth of distant suns easing your thoughts toward rest. Next, in Chapter 9, Weather, Environment and Locational Evolution, discover how storms, shadows and sacred stones twist fates in ways that will leave you yearning for the secrets of shifting skies and forgotten groves. As Hoenn's tropical rains nourished the twisting paths of Wurmple into silken cocoons or armoured shells, a new wonder emerged from the region's Weather Institute, where scientists first witnessed a Pokémon that danced with the skies themselves. Cast form, forecast Pokémon, doesn't evolve in the traditional sense, but its body shifts with every passing cloud and gust, turning sunny and golden, rainy and drizzly blue, snowy and crystalline white, or sandy and scorched red. These changes aren't mere disguises. They're profound responses to atmospheric pressures, humidity and temperature swings, hinting at something deeper. A preview of how environments could etch permanent marks on a Pokémon's essence. Picture the glass domes of the Weather Institute, battered by Hoenn's monsoons, where Castform floats amid swirling mists, its rubbery form expanding like a storm cloud before hardening into hail-kissed flakes. Pokédex scholars note how these transformations mimic the survival tactics of ancient life forms, adapting fur, scales or plasma to ward off extremes. Yet this fluidity was just the opening act. In the wilds beyond, true evolution awaited, where temporary survival became lifelong rebirth, proving that weather wasn't a fleeting visitor, but a sculptor of destinies. From those humid labs, researchers turned northward, charting how prolonged exposure to specific locales could lock in these adaptations forever. Eevee, that versatile fox with boundless potential, became the key example. In Sinnoh's misty forests, ancient mossy rocks pulse with verdant energies, their surfaces etched by centuries of dew and root tangles. When Eevee brushes against one, those radiating waves seep into its cells, twisting DNA strands toward photosynthesis and leaf blades. Leafeon emerges, vines coiling like living armor, its body now a verdant engine thriving in shaded groves where sunlight filters green through canopies. Not far off, in icy caverns where frost clings eternal, glacial rocks hum with cryogenic force, their frozen facets gleaming like shattered diamonds. Eevee's fur crystallizes here, DNA rewoven into shimmering ice shards. Glacian steps forth, exhaling blizzards that carve the air, perfectly attuned to tundras where winds howl and snow buries the weak. These aren't random mutations. The rocks act as natural amplifiers, channeling geomagnetic pulses and mineral auras that rewrite genetic code. Much like how Castform's shifts foreshadowed such permanence, Eevee's lineage now spanned ecosystems, from fiery Flareon bursts to watery Vaporeon flows. But these rock-born forms showed environment as the ultimate catalyst. Deeper into Sinnoh's rugged heart, magnetic anomalies revealed even stranger forces at play. Coronet, that towering spine piercing the region's clouds, harbours veins of iron ore thrumming with invisible fields, strong enough to bend compass needles. Magneton, the hovering triad of magnets, feels this pull acutely. Normally content as a floating cluster, it spirals toward the peak, drawn by the Earth's buried power. There, amid crackling static and aurora-like flares, it absorbs the field's intensity, magnets fusing into a unified whole. Magnezone rotates into existence, its central eye glowing with electromagnetic fury. Now a sentinel, capable of warping steel and summoning storms. Nosepass stands watch over these same slopes, its stony nose a perpetual compass locked to true north. In the mountain's charged embrace, that rigid form softens and expands, magnetic torrents surging through quartz veins to reshape its bulk. Probopass rises, mustache flowing like ferrous rivers, its massive nose a beacon commanding metallic minions from afar. Sinnoh's lore whispers of ancient upheavals here. comets crashing eons ago, embedding lodestones that still whisper to steel types, urging evolution as a badge of survival against the wild magnetism. These locational evolutions wove a tapestry across regions, from Owen's sandy dunes birthing sandy karst form, echoes in later forms, to Unova's charged stones sparking galvantula webs, and Kalas's fairy-tinged trade winds blessing Sylveon bonds. Yet Sinnoh stood as the pioneer, where professors like Rowan documented how habitats didn't just shelter Pokémon, they remade them. Runerigus in Galar's foggy ruins demanded specific steps under moonlight, while Paldea's tectonic scars birthed Primapi's vengeful fury through spectral orbs. Each site held a unique signature, radiation from fossils in Kalos depths twisting Amara into Aurorus, or Alola's sun-soaked shores granting Vicavolt's sappy might via electric anvils. Whispers persist of lost sites too, submerged atolls where Clampearl might diverge unseen, or volcanic fissures in Galar coaxing White Streak Combi into eternal queenship. Environment's grip tightened with each generation, blending with friendship's warmth or trade's spark, but always underscoring adaptation's raw poetry. A Pikachu in Kalas's prism towers catches light in prismatic veins, evolving into Sylveon through affection amplified by the glow. Dealing seasonal coats shift with solstices, though true permanence eludes them, echoing Castform's tease. As these tales converge on Sinnoh's shadowed peaks and frozen vales, they hint at even greater powers slumbering beneath, ancient forces tied to the region's myths of creation and primal fury. In the next chapter, the Sinnoh expansion and ancient power, we'll uncover how diamonds forged from dawn and dusk birthed legends anew, pulling back the veil on evolutions that reshaped time itself. What secrets do those icy plateaus and starry voids hold for lines like Dialga's kin? Drift deeper with me and find out. Those magnetic fields, humming through Sinnoh's caves, reshaped more than just steel and rock types, pulling ancient forces into the light and expanding horizons for Pokémon long thought fully grown. In the snowy peaks and volcanic depths of this northern region, researchers uncovered hidden potential in veterans from distant lands, breathing new life into lines that had seemed complete. Take Raiden, the armoured behemoth from Kanto's rocky wilds, whose drill-like tail had powered through mountains for generations. Sinnoh's explorers found that when traded while clutching a protector, a jagged shield-shaped relic mimicking natural armour, this powerhouse sheds its rocky shell. It emerges as Rhyperia, a colossal guardian with vast paws that suck in boulders, forging them into missiles from its cavernous back. Imagine the thunderous cracks as those stones embed, turning a mere tank into a living catapult, its hide now a fortress of embedded rock. Pokédex scholars note how Rhyperia's immense strength lets it hurl mountains, an evolution born from Sinnoh's rugged trade routes, where protectors were forged in volcanic forges. Electabuzz followed a similar spark of discovery, this electric brawler from Kanto's power plants, fists crackling with raw voltage, gains an electrolyzer during trade, a battery-like core pulsing with trapped thunder. The result is Electivire, a speed demon whose twin tails whip like live wires, generating traps that drain foes dry. Feel the ozone sting in the air as it motors its fists to hypersonic blurs, boxing shadows into submission. Magmar, the fiery dancer from those same urban fringes, mirrors this with a Magmarizer, a heat-sink orb traded to unleash Magmortar. Its shoulders sprout magma cannons, spewing gouts of flame that twist like living whips, scorching the earth with precision born from Sinnoh's lava flows. These weren't mere add-ons. They revealed mid-stage secrets, proving evolution's reach extended backward through time, linking Kanto's grit to Sinnoh's elemental fury. But Sinnoh's true revelation lay deeper, in moves that stirred dormant genes from prehistoric slumber. Ancient power, a shimmering blast of primordial energy, became the key to unlocking fossils' forgotten heirs. Piloswine, the woolly swine trudging through icy tundras, knows this move and feels its blood awaken. Swine DNA surges, tusks elongating into scimitars, body ballooning into Mamoswine, a mammoth reborn, trumpeting blizzards that bury armies in snow. Its Pokédex whispers of ancient herds thundering across glacial plains, now revived through this genetic trigger, as if Sinnoh's permafrost held echoes of the Ice Age. Yanma buzzed with the same latent fire. This dragonfly from Yoto's meadows, wings a hypnotic blur, masters ancient power and transcends its fragile form. It morphs into Yanmega, a colossal predator with eyes like compound jewels, slicing air with sickles that cleave steel. The hum of its flight drowns out screams, an aerial tyrant evoking carboniferous skies where meganeuroids ruled. Researchers in Sinnoh's ruins piece together fossils showing Yanma's line predated modern skies, the move acting as a genetic whisper from eons past, compelling these insects to reclaim their apex reign. Such triggers wove tragedy and grace into Sinnoh's tapestry, especially where gender scripted unyielding fates. Male combi, those honey-dripping drones of flower meadows, toil endlessly, sacs swelling with nectar but forever barred from the hive's throne. Only females ascend at level 21, bursting into Vespiquen, a regal queen commanding swarms from her geometric fortress abdomen, workers orbiting like loyal stars. They wither as eternal servants, a brutal hive law etched in their genes, their buzzing labours fueling the colony's endless expansion. Contrast this with Frostless, born solely from female Snorrent under a dawnstone's pale gleam. The icy imp, haunting mountain passes, glides into ethereal beauty, a floating spectre with kimono-like frills, trapping souls in her frozen gaze. Legends speak of her as a yokai bride, graceful yet merciless, a chill kiss preserving lovers in eternal frost. Pokédex tales paint her drifting through blizzards, a winter phantom whose form embodies forsaken elegance. Sinnoh's winds carried these evolutions across its archipelago, from the jagged peaks where Glamiao lazed into arrogant Purugly, the sunny shores where Finneon shimmered into Lumininian's lantern-lit grace. Tangros vines exploded from Tangela's tangles via a simple move relearned, while Leafeon's chlorophyll surge demanded mossy stones in Eterna forest. Even the skies birthed new paths. Mercury's trade with a dusk stone yielding Honchgro, a mafia-don of midnight flocks. These weren't random, they pulsed with the region's primal rhythm, friendship deepening Golbat's loyalty into Crobat's swift bonds, as Elm's Yoto echoes resounded here, deep in the underground, where Riolus sensed auras to bloom into Lucario, and where Spiritom's 99 souls fused in odd keystones. Evolution mirrored Sinnoh's law of distortion worlds and lake guardians. Azelf, Mesprit Uxie, the trio stirring will, emotion, knowledge, hinted at evolutions tied to the psyche itself, though their forms held steadfast. Yet the land's diversity demanded adaptation. Abomasnow's hailstorms cloaking Snover, or Drapion's venomous pinchers claiming Toxicroak's path diverged. As Sinnoh's secrets settled like fresh snow, the world turned eastward to Unova, where evolutions tangled into even greater complexity of growth, branching paths that would challenge everything we've traced so far. What hidden mechanics await in those urban jungles and rolling plains? Stay with us for Chapter 11, Unova and the Complexity of Growth. Before we dive deeper into this incredible journey, I'm curious. Where in the world are you watching this from? Drop a comment below and let our global community know. And if you're finding this as mind-blowing as I am, hit that like button to help more people discover this story. As Sinnoh's ancient powers unlocked forgotten potentials in lines like Mamoswine and Yanmega, the world of Pokémon took a bold step forward into Unova, a region where growth demanded patience, strategy, and a profound understanding of maturity's hidden rhythms. Unova arrived like a fresh dawn, delivering a complete soft reboot of evolutionary lines, with 156 entirely new species, none carrying the echoes of Kanto's flames or Joen's vines. Every Pokémon here stood on its own, crafted from the ground up to explore themes of urban sprawl meeting wild ambition, where trainers navigated sprawling cities and twisting routes that mirrored the intricate paths of evolution itself. You can feel the shift in the air. Gone were the familiar silhouettes of Pidgey or Rattata. Instead, Patrat scurried in the shadows of Route 1, its eyes sharp and unblinking, evolving into the steadfast watchog at level 20 after countless battles honing its vigilance. Nearby, Lilliput bounded with puppy-like energy, growing into the loyal Herdier by level 16. Then the majestic Stoutland at 32, its thick fur a testament to enduring companionship through Unova's diverse climates. This region's lines wove complexity into every stage, challenging trainers to think beyond simple level grinds. Take the Snivy line, Unova's cool-headed grass starter. Snivy shed its serpentine form into the blade-wielding Servine at level 17. Then blossomed into Serperior at level 36, its regal coil and leaf glare commanding respect, like a forest monarch surveying its domain. Tepig, the fiery piglet, barreled forward to Pignite at 17, its fighting spirit igniting into the robust Embor at 36, muscles rippling with ember-fueled power that could shatter boulders. Oshawott, with its loyal scout chop, sliced through to Dewott at 17, then mastered dual blades, a Samurott at 36, a samurai of the seas whose scimitar gleamed under moonlit waves. But Unova's true depth lay in evolutions that tested resolve, demanding high levels or rare conditions to unlock their ferocity. Consider the high-level requirements of the Hydreigon and Volcarona lines, where growth simmered for ages before erupting into legend. Dino, a blind, savage dragon hatchling, gnawed through darkness to become Zweilous at level 50, his twin heads finally perceiving the world in snarling harmony. Yet true ascension waited until level 64, when Xylus fused into Hydreigon, a brutal three-headed behemoth whose central maw hungered eternally, devouring landscapes in rage-fueled rampages as its Pokédex whispers of a darkness that engulfs all light. Parallel to this draconic fury rose Larvesta, a fiery lava cocooned in bristles that scorched the air, enduring until level 59 to emerge as Volcarona, the sun Pokémon, its wings unfurling like solar flares, casting illusions of warmth that lured prey into fiery doom. These lines embodied Unova's creed, evolution as a marathon of endurance, where patience birthed gods among insects and dragons. Waterways teemed with new life too, like Timpol's croaking chorus evolving into the eardrum-shattering Palpitoad at level 25. Then the seismic Seismitoad at level 36, its bell-like throat rumbling earthquakes across marshes. Timber hefted its wooden beam to evolve into the steel-girded Gourdeur at level 25, trading lumber for a girder before becoming the construction titan Conkeldurr at level 48. Concrete pillars slung over shoulders like trophies from urban battlefields. Drillbor tunneled relentlessly to Excadrill at level 31, claws spinning into a subterranean drill that carved mountains, its speed a blur underground. Unova revelled in symbiotic oddities, none stranger than Carablast and Shelmet, locked in a unique exchange evolution where armour is stolen in a twist of parasitic cunning. Picture these two, Carablast, a horned beetle with a fragile shell, and Shelmet, a snail cloaked in impenetrable chitin. Alone, they stagnate but trade them between trainers, and biology inverts. Carablast seizes Shelmet's armour, morphing into the armoured knight Escavalier at the moment of exchange, lances sprouting from its stolen plates, charging with medieval fury. Simultaneously, Shelmet sheds its burden, reforming as the gaseous Akelgor within its mucus bubble, accelerating to blinding speeds, its form a sleek assassin evading strikes with fluid grace. This mutual theft, born of necessity, highlighted Unova's theme of interdependence, where one creature's loss fuels another's triumph. Fire danced in new forms, from Litwick's haunting candle flame flickering to Lampent at level 41, then Lampent absorbing souls into the spectral Chandelure at level 42, Christ's arms dangling like a chandelier of the damned in abandoned Castelia allies. Pansage, Pansir and Panpour, the elemental monkeys, munched elemental leaves to branch into their Simis counterparts, each a verdant, crimson, or azure sprite attuned to nature's palette. Trubbish piled into Garbodor at level 36, a toxic mound regurgitating sludge bombs, embodying the region's underbelly of pollution turned power. Even the skies hosted marvels. Pidove cooed into Tranquil at level 21, soaring as the elegant Unpheasant at level 32, males flaunting crimson crests in aerial courtship. Blitzel thundered to Zebstrika at level 27, stripes crackling with electric velocity across Nimbasa plains. And who could forget the fossil revivals in Nacrene? Unlike ancient Kabuto, Tirtoga armoured into Caracosta at level 37, a prehistoric turtle unleashing aqua jets from shell turrets, while Archon fluttered feebly to Archeops at 37, wings reclaiming skies lost to time. Deeper into the wilds, growth grew labyrinthine. Swaddle spun Silk into Swadloon at level 20, needing a trainer's friendship to burst forth as Levany, at varying levels, maternal instincts, sewing leaf cloaks for its young. Venipede curled into Whirlipede at level 22, exploding into Scolipede at level 30. A centipede juggernaut trampling foes with horned fury. Cottony drifted like dandelion fluff to Whimsicott at friendship's glow. Prankish winds scattering spores. Steel and rock clashed in Boldor, evolving from Roggenroller at level 25. Then trading to Gigalith at level 42, crystalline bulk quaking the earth. These weren't mere upgrades, they were rebirths, each stage shedding weakness like old skin under Unova's relentless sun. Joltik, a tiny parasite, latched onto larger hosts to reach Galvantula at level 36, webs pulsing with electric traps that ensnared the unwary. Clink spun counterclockwise to Clang at level 25, then synchronized into Clinkclang at 49, gears whirring in mechanical symphony. Unova's complexity peaked in the shadows of Dragon Spiral Tower, where Axew sharpened tusks to Fracture at level 38, then forged into the Tusk Tyrant Haxorus at level 48. Arablades cleaving air with guillotine precision. Cryogonal crystallized from ice shards, a perpetual winter star shedding arms in combat, while Stunfisk lurked in mud, flipping to reveal electric underbelly. Minccino dusted with its tail to Cinccino at using a shiny stone, fur gleaming like polished silk. Gothita's psychic gaze intensified to Gotharita at level 32, then Gothitelle at 41, foreseeing fates in starry voids. These 156 pioneers redefined growth, urging trainers to attune to rhythms beyond the battlefield. Friendships whisper, trades spark, levels climbed in shadowed patience. Unova taught that true evolution thrives in complexity, where every Pokemon's journey mirrors the soul's quiet ascent. As Unova's intricate lines fade into twilight, whispers emerge of Kalos and the mystery of mega evolution, a phenomenon that shattered boundaries, allowing bonds to unleash forms beyond imagination. What hidden power awaits when a Pokemon transcends its final stage? As Unova wrapped up its era of intricate growth, with 156 fresh species and the towering challenges of lines like Hydreigon and Volcarona, Kalos emerged in the 6th generation, whispering promises of elegance and power that pushed boundaries no region had dared before. Here, in the shadowed alas of Lumio City and the sun-drenched peaks of Victory Road, trainers discovered a phenomenon that redefined strength. Mega evolution, a fleeting surge where Pokemon shattered the limits of their final forms. Picture the air humming with ancient energy, stones pulsing like forgotten hearts unearthed from the earth. Mega evolution isn't your standard transformation. It's temporary transcendence beyond the final stage of a line, a burst of potential unlocked only under the rarest conditions. A Pokemon in its pinnacle state, say a fully evolved Charizard, soaring with flames licking the clouds, suddenly erupts in light, its body twisting into something fiercer, more primal. Charizard Mega evolves into 2 variants even. X with Dragon might rippling through blackened scales, or Y with a lithe, sky-piercing form. But this isn't permanence. It's a momentary godhood, fading once the battle's roar quiets, leaving the Pokemon breathless yet transformed in spirit. At the heart of this mystery lies the Kalos region's core secret. the unbreakable link between trainer and Pokémon. You hold a key stone, embedded in a pendant or bracelet, its facets catching the light like captured stars. Your partner grips a mega stone, tailored to their essence. Lucarionite for the steel-fisted aura warrior, for instance. But stones alone whisper, it's the bond that screams. Years of shared battles, quiet moments under moonlight, trust forged in the crucible of defeat and triumph. These ignite the change. Feel the rush as your voices synchronize, a silent call rippling through the air, and your Pokémon responds, aura flaring like a blue inferno. No line embodies this quite like Lucario, the embodiment of Kalus's philosophical soul. Evolving from Riolu through the deepest friendship at daybreak, Lucario stands as a guardian of inner strength, its spikes sensing emotions across vast distances. Yet Mega Lucario elevates it to legend. The bond between Lucario and its trainer, as a catalyst for peak performance, turns a fighter into a tempest. Chest spikes elongating into piercing lances, aura tendrils coiling like living lightning, power spiking to levels that warp reality itself. Pokédex scribes note how this form channels raw life energy, spikes gleaming with the very pulse of the trainer's will. In the anime, Ash's bond with his Lucario nearly topples champions. In games, it shreds Ultra Beasts. That synergy isn't just strategy, it's symbiosis, where your heartbeat fuels their blaze. Kalos wove this into over 70 mega-capable lines, pulling classics like Venusaur, whose bloom swells monstrously with venomous fury, or Blastoise, cannon shells morphing into high-pressure hydroblasts. Newcomers shown too. Gardevoir's megaform drapes in ethereal black, psychic veils shielding allies with maternal grace. Garchomp's wings sharpened to scythes, Sandstorm heritage exploding into dragon dread. Even legendaries bowed, Aerodactyl's primal revival, Mewtwo's dual Y and X ascensions echoing godlike hubris. Each stone tells a tale, a Bomacite from icy caverns, tying to Avalug's frozen lineage, Salamoncite harvested from meteor falls, amplifying the dragon's supersonic roar. Yet this power carries shadows, igniting debates that echo through Kalus's cafes and academies. The ethical debate surrounding the strain Mega Evolution puts on a Pokémon rages on. Witnesses describe the toll, bodies shuddering post-transformation, energy sapped like a drained battery, some Pokémon collapsing into days-long slumber. Professor Sycamore himself pondered it, linking Megastones to AZ's ancient weapon, a war machine that fueled eternal Floette evolutions but twisted life into torment. In lore, the ultimate weapon's energy mimics these stones, suggesting Mega Evolution taps a dangerous vein, risking burnout or worse. Trainers argue necessity in crises, like Lysandra's flare using it for domination, but critics whisper of exploitation. Is peak power worth the pain etched in heaving flanks and dimmed eyes? Delve deeper and history unravels. A Cid, the immortal king, lost his Floette to war 3,000 years past, forging the weapon to resurrect it, birthing Mega Evolution as a double-edged gift. His sword, pulsing with infinite energy, granted temporary might to Pokémon armies. But at what cost? Eternatus's Dynamax echoes in Galar hint at similar overreach, yet Kalos stands as ground zero. Pokédex entries for Mega Ampharos illuminate the paradox. Wool igniting in electric splendor, but the strain visible in frayed fibers. Diancie, the jewel princess, mega evolves into a diamond colossus, yet lore hints at crystalline fatigue shattering lesser gems. Explorers scoured Prism Tower's heights and Geosenge's ruins for clues, uncovering that Mega Evolution thrives on resonance, your emotions amplifying the Pokémon's. A distraught trainer might falter the link, a harmonious one unleashes tempests. Competitions in Lumiose tested this, Lucario pairs dominating with aura-synced strikes that predicted moves before they formed. Yet post-battle, vets monitored vitals, noting elevated heart rates lingering hours, fueling calls for regulation. Some regions banned it outright in youth leagues, fearing young bonds couldn't bear the load. Through it all, Kalos's lines evolved traditionally too, Chespin to Chestnut, a knightly fortress, Fennekin to Delphox, wand-wielding mages, Froakie to Greninja, shadow-stalking ninjas with tongue scarves, but mega overshadowed, a siren call to transcendence. Even cross-region pulls like Kangaskhan's maternal mega embrace or Pince's scissor titan form borrowed Kalos's spark. As these mysteries of temporary might fade into twilight, whispers from distant shores beckon. Alola and the regional variant phenomenon, where environments don't just influence evolution, they rewrite species entirely, birthing forms that challenge everything you've known. Drift toward that revelation next, while mega evolutions in Kalos pushed Pokémon beyond their limits through unbreakable trainer bonds. Alola revealed a quieter revolution, one carved by sun-soaked shores and volcanic winds, where Pokémon reshaped themselves not in bursts of light, but through generations of isolation. Drift with me to these scattered islands, each a world unto itself, cut off from the mainland by endless Pacific swells. Here, ancient travelers brought familiar Pokémon like Exeggcute and Cubone, but the islands demanded adaptation. Exeggcute, once a psychic guardian of tropical groves in Kanto, stretched skyward under Alola's relentless sun. Its eggs fused into a towering palm-like form, swaying like a coconut tree in the breeze. Its type shifting from grass and psychic to grass and dragon. No leaf stone alone triggered this. The isolation forced a divergence, wild herds evolving thicker hides and draconic power to dominate the canopy, their heads pulsing with island-born fury. Marowak followed a fiercer path. Kanto's ground-type lone warrior, clubbing foes with bone, arrived on these fiery shores and kindled something primal. Alola's volcano spewed ashen heat, wrapping the islands in a perpetual haze. Cubone's line thickened their fur for insulation against the swelter, their bones igniting with absorbed lava energy. By adulthood, Alolan Marowak wielded flaming clubs, their cries echoing like cracking magma, transforming from earthshakers to fire and dark marauders. This wasn't mere survival. Isolation on islands led Exeggcute and Marowak to change types entirely, their lineages splitting from continental kin, proving environments could rewrite destinies. Feel the humid air thicken as you climb higher, past lush jungles to Mount Lanakeela's frosted crown, Alola's lone snowy refuge amid paradise. Here dwells the Alolan Vulpix, a fire type adapting to the snowy peaks of Mount Lanakeela in ways that defy its Kanto heritage. Picture those fluffy kits, born from mainland foxes carried by ancient winds, huddling against blizzards that bury lesser creatures. Their fur crystallized into shimmering ice, no longer kindling flames but exhaling frosty breaths to lure prey into frozen traps. Evolving into elegant ninetales under moonlight's chill, they command auroras that dance like veils, their ice-type essence a badge of high-altitude triumph. Pokédex scholars whisper of their tears, forming diamonds in the snow, an adaptation so profound it overrides the fire of their ancestors. This is the heart of Alola's phenomenon, the role of the environment in overriding traditional evolutionary paths. Stones and levels matter less when islands dictate survival. Exeggcute clusters, basking in perpetual daylight, sprout draconic fronds instead of psychic vines. Cubone, forging clubs in lava flows, forsake burrowing for pyre-lit hunts. Vulpix lines perched on icy spires trade Infernos for glacial grace. Even Rattata bulked into hulking dark types for urban scraps, and Raticate gnawed coconuts with oversized fangs. Grimer oozed purple in polluted bays, Muk swallowing toxins like nectar. These variants aren't mutations, they're evolutions hijacked by terrain, trade-ins carrying spores and scents that sculpt DNA over centuries. Wander the beaches where Persian prowls with glittering pearls embedded in fur. A luxurious twist on Kanto's sly thieves, their normal-type sleekness yielding to steel-hard treasures from coral reefs. Raichu, bloated and psychic from riding surfboard rails on electric waves. Surges with surf-like psychic bursts rather than thunderbolts. Muk's toxic sludge, thriving in Alola's chemical runoff, gains darker potency, dissolving metal with a touch. Each form whispers of divergence. Populations marooned on one island evolve spears for fishing, another spears of bone hardened by salt spray. Deeper still, consider the chain reactions. A lowland geodude clings to cliffs with magnetic grips, evolving into graveler that roll like boulders down lava slopes. Then golem encased in basalt armor. Their rock and electric typing hums with volcanic static, far from Kanto's plain stone. Sandshrew curls into icy shells on Lanakeela's drifts, sandslash blades sharpened by frostbite winds. Isolation amplifies these shifts. Islands like petri dishes where no two variants mingle, purity enforced by treacherous seas. Yet Alola's variants ripple outward, challenging what evolution means. A Kanto executor transplanted might revert, but a lowland young, raised in the wild, lock into their form forever. Trainers import stones, but the islands infuse them with local essence, leaf stones birthing dragon palms, fire stones igniting bone clubs. Pokédex entries capture this poetry. Alolan Marowak dances with fire to honor the dead, flames a tribute to volcanic spirits. Vulpix kits nuzzle trainers' hands, their chill a gentle promise of winter's beauty. As these island-born lineages claim their thrones, Alola unveils portals to stranger realms, where otherworldly invaders undergo alien metamorphoses, unlike anything earthly evolution has forged. Tune in next for the Ultra Beasts and Alien Metamorphosis, and uncover how extra-dimensional energies twist forms in ways that will chill even Lanakeela's peaks. While Alola's islands forged variants like the towering Alolan Executor and the fiery skeletal Marowak through sheer isolation, and Vulpix learned to cloak itself in ice atop Mount Lanakeela's frozen heights. Something far stranger pierced those same skies. Ultra wormholes, peers in reality itself, began spilling forth invaders from dimensions beyond our own, creatures whose very forms pulsed with alien biology that twisted evolution into something unrecognizably savage. These were the Ultra Beasts, ethereal horrors that didn't belong to our world. Nihiligo drifted like a jellyfish from poisoned seas, its tentacles secreting neurotoxins that puppeted human minds. Pheromosa, elegant yet lethal, sliced through foes with blades honed in zero-gravity voids. But amid this chaos, one Ultra Beast arrived not as a destroyer, but as a tiny wanderer, its purple body dotted with yellow poison barbs, eyes wide with innocent curiosity. Poipole, the very first of its kind to bond with a human trainer, hailed straight from a different dimension, slipping through an ultra wormhole into Alola's vibrant chaos. What made Poipole truly otherworldly was its potential for change. A metamorphosis fueled by energies our Pokémon could scarcely comprehend. Alone among the Ultra Beasts, it craved growth, latching onto allies with its sticky orbs and firing barrages of toxic projectiles. As battles wore on, Poipole learned new moves, its body stretching and coiling, until at last it unleashed Dragon Pulse, a raw surge of draconic power that shattered its infantile shell. In that moment, it evolved into Naganadel, a serpentine behemoth with jagged wings like shattered obsidian, a lance-like tail dripping venom, and a maw that roared with interdimensional fury. Poipole and Naganadel marked evolution from a different dimension, a line that bridged worlds, proving even alien invaders could adapt to our battles, our bonds. This transformation wasn't mere level gain, it was ignited by the Beast Boost energy, a primal force coursing through every Ultra Beast's veins. Picture it, a shimmering aura, wild and uncontainable, that activates the instant an opponent falls. Beast Boost targets the creature's strongest trait, speed for Pheromosa, attack for Kartana, special attack for Xurkitree, and surges it higher, fueling hyper-accelerated biological growth. In Poipole's case, it swelled its frail frame into Naganadel's armoured bulk, spikes elongating into weapons, poison sacs bloating with lethal potency. Scientists in Alola whispered that this energy mimicked the wormhole's warp fields, compressing eons of evolution into heartbeats, forcing cells to multiply at rates that would shred earthly DNA. Trainers who captured these beasts felt the hum in their Pokeballs, a vibration like distant thunder, as if the boost hungered to remake everything it touched. Yet no Ultra Beast embodied this alien metamorphosis. More poetically, than the one born from the stars themselves. Cosmog emerged not through a wormhole, but from a nebula's heart, a wispy, gaseous entity drifting in space, its body a swirl of cosmic gas that barely held shape. The Pokédex calls it the Nebula Pokémon. Fragile as a dream, floating aimlessly until captured by those bold enough to chase legends. In Alola's Tapas's shadows, Cosmog's form hardened during eclipses, compressing into Cosmem, a psychic chrysalis of unyielding stone, dormant and pupa-like, absorbing solar and lunar energies in silence. Then came the pinnacle. At level 53, under the sun's blaze or moon's glow, Cosmoem cracked open, revealing its true self. In scarlet skies it burst forth as Solgaleo, the steely lion of the sun, mane radiating plasma, forelegs like metallic suns that warp space itself. Its roar summons ultra wormholes, a king reclaiming its pride. Or in violet nights Lunala unfurled, ghostly wings vast as eclipses, eyes like black holes devouring light. A bat dragon queen who phases through shadows. Cosmog's journey from a nebula to the legendary Solgaleo or Lunala traced a path of celestial rebirth, each stage shedding otherworldly infancy for godlike dominion, echoing the Ultra Beast's invasive hunger but elevated to myth. These evolutions blurred the line between invasion and integration. Poipol's playful poison blooms into Naganadel's draconic wrath, beast boost propelling it beyond limits, while Cosmog's vaporous haze forges solar lions or lunar spectres. Alola's skies, once tamed by regional shifts, now hosted dimensional refugees whose growth defied gravity, time and type. Handlers noted how Naganadel's flights left trails of warped air, beast boost lingering like radiation, spurring nearby Pokémon to unusual vigor, Grimer swelling thicker, Salandit budding faster. Even Solgaleo's mane could ignite evolutions prematurely, bathing allies in photonic fire. In the end, these alien lines reshaped what evolution meant. Not just survival, but conquest from afar. As ultra wormholes sealed and beasts retreated or integrated, their legacy pulsed onward, hinting at even wilder amplifications waiting in distant lands. Up next, Chapter 15, Galar and the Gigantamax Factor, where Pokémon don't just evolve, they erupt into colossi that shake stadiums and rewrite battles forever. What hidden power turns a humble Snorlax into a berry-spewing titan? Stay with me as we uncover it. As the beast boost energy courses through those ultra beasts, propelling their forms into otherworldly power, Galar introduces a phenomenon that echoes that surge on a staggering regional scale. Dynamax, where Pokémon in special power spots swell to colossal heights, their bodies temporarily altering in size and form to unleash cataclysmic strength. In the roaring stadiums of Winden or the misty wilds of the Isle of Armor, a Pokémon steps into a glowing red energy field, and in moments, it towers like a living mountain, every limb amplified, attacks exploding into max moves that reshape the battlefield. Hydro pumps becoming tidal waves, flames erupting into volcanic barrages. This isn't permanent evolution, it's a fleeting transcendence, lasting only 3 turns, drawing from ancient ley lines beneath Galar's soil that pulse with primal Dynamax energy. Some Pokémon, the chosen Gigantamax few, take it further. Their transformations twist into unique, exaggerated shapes, like a Pikachu bloating into a house-sized behemoth with rocket-launching cheeks, or a Venusaur whose back blossoms into a fortress of toxic pods. Pokédex scholars whisper that these Gigantamax factors are etched into their genes, activated only in Galar power spots, a nod to the region's industrial heart, fused with forgotten wild magic. Galarian Pokémon embody this volatile power in their very evolutions, pushing boundaries beyond simple levels or stones. Take the rugged Galarian Farfetch'd, a leek-wielding warrior duck adapted to the chilly, slumbering Weald. Its feather hardened into a shield, charging into battle with unyielding ferocity. Unlike its Cantonian cousin, this one evolves not through quiet growth, but raw combat prowess. After landing 3 critical hits in battle, it bursts into Surfetch'd, a knightly evolution with an elongated mustache-like feather, a massive shield leak, and souped-up limbs ready to cleave foes. That triple critical strike requirement mirrors Galar's gladiatorial spirit, where survival hinges on precision under pressure. One Pokédex entry notes Sirfetch'd's unbreaking will, forged in the heat of those exacting blows, turning a humble bird into a shield-bearing legend that even Dynamaxes into a colossal armoured juggernaut. This theme of precise ritualistic triggers weaves through Galar's creamery-inspired lines, where whimsy meets multiplicity. Milcery, that tiny fairy-type sprite drifting like a lost snowflake over sweet shops and meadows, spins in delight when offered a specific treat. A strawberry sweet, love sweet, or one of 7 varieties evoking Galar's confectionery heritage. Hold the right sweet, then whirl your trainer in a dance for varying durations, short, medium, or extended. And Milcery evolves into alchemy, but not just any. The spin direction, clockwise or counterclockwise, combined with the sweet type and timing, yields 63 distinct forms, each a pastel tower of cream, adorned with berries, flowers, or ribbons, dripping with type-shifting auras from normal to rock, fire to dragon. Imagine the strawberry clover form, petite and ruby-flecked, versus the towering ribbon fluff, its Dynamax G-Max form belching a cream blizzard that clings and burns. These aren't random. They're a mechanic of joyful synergy, trainer and Pokémon twirling under Galar's street lamp glow, unlocking flavours that tie into the land's bakeries and festivals, where alchemy's cream hardens into unbreakable shields or explodes in sugary barrages. Galar's evolutionary tapestry thrives on these quirks, blending the temporary might of Dynamax with permanent metamorphoses that demand creativity. Regional variants like the icy Galarian Darumaka, which chills into a Zen mode Darmanitan via Ice Stone, or the ghostly Yamper line charging to a bolt-tailed Boltund, all pulse with that Gigantamax potential. Select ones like the Corviknight lineage soaring as steel behemoths in the skies. Even imports get the treatment. A traded Scorbunny kicks into Gigantamax Cinderace, its football morphing into a blazing coliseum. The energy isn't just power, it's cultural, with stadium crowds chanting as Meowth balloons into a golden catcoin dispenser, or Toxtricity amps up into a punk rock tower shredding poison guitars. Pokédex lore hints at deeper roots. These power spots are craters from meteor strikes eons ago, infusing Galar's wildlife with latent gigantism, much like how Sirfetch'd's critical hits symbolise battle-honed destiny. Yet amid the spectacle, subtler Evos shine. Rookidee pecking its way to the armoured Corvisquire, then the regal Corviknight at level 38. A knightly bird whose Gigantamax form drapes foes in crushing metal, or the curry-loving Indeedee, gender dimorphic psychics aiding travellers, evolving from level 15 without fanfare, but embodying Galar's communal spirit. The Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra expand this, with Kubfu meditating into Urshifu's single strike or rapid strike paths via tower trials, their Gigantamax forms pummeling with dark or water fury. These aren't mere power grabs. Their evolutions attuned to Galar's landscape. From the foggy Glimwood taint birthing Impidim's mischievous line to Sirfetch'd patrolling the same woods. Leak at the ready. As Dynamax fades and forms shrink back, the true legacy lingers in lines like Milcery's endless varieties, a testament to how Galar turns everyday rituals into evolutionary artistry. And just when you think you've grasped this modern frenzy, we turn to the Earth's buried secrets, the fossil record and extinct lines, where ancient bones whisper of Pokémon long vanished, revived in labs and legends that challenge everything we know about origins. While Galar's Dynamax energies swells Pokémon to colossal heights and turns a humble Farfetch'd into the battle-hardened. Sirfetch'd after landing just 3 critical hits, the true giants of Pokémon history slumber not in towering craters, but embedded in layers of stone millions of years old. These petrified echoes from a primordial world challenge everything we know about evolution's timeline, revealing branches that diverged long before the first trainers walked the earth. Deep beneath the surface, in the fossil record, lie the hardened shells and bones of creatures that once dominated ancient seas and skies. What fossilized remains tell us about the ancestors of modern Pokémon is profound. They sketch a family tree rooted in extinction events, where oceanic behemoths and winged predators gave rise to subtler descendants today. Consider the ammonite-like spirals and trilobite domes unearthed in places like Mount Moon or the depths of Kanto's labs. These aren't mere relics, but blueprints of adaptation, hinting that many water types and rock dwellers trace their lineage to these armoured survivors of cataclysmic floods and shifting continents. In the flickering glow of Cinnabar Island's laboratory, scientists first crack the code to breathe life back into these stony tombs. Reviving Ammonite, Kabuto, and Aerodactyl from ancient stone marked a turning point, pulling helix fossils, dome fossils, and old amber from museum shelves into revival chambers, humming with electric revival machines. Picture the helix fossil, its coiled shell a perfect spiral, evoking Nautilus ancestors. Pulsing as carbon dating places it 4 billion years in the past. Though some say that's exaggerated, the energy release feels eternal. Ammonite emerges, tentacles writhing in briny fluid, its tentacled grip a nod to cephalopod supremacy, before evolving into the crushing Omar star at level 40, where that shell hypertrophies into a siege engine capable of pulverizing prey under volcanic pressures. Kabuto stirs next from its dome fossil, eyes compound and unblinking, scuttling across lab floors like a horseshoe crab thawed from permafrost. This dome-shelled enigma, with its plated underbelly, evolves into Kabutops at the same level, blades slicing through water as sharp as obsidian. Echoes of ancient arthropods that ruled shallow reefs, their fossils crowding sedimentary beds alongside early fish that might prefigure modern Magikarp lines. And then Aerodactyl, injected from old amber, bursts forth with a screech that rattles glass, leathery wings spanning 12 feet, rock-type hide scarred by meteor impacts. No evolution follows this pterosaur stand-in. It reigns as a singleton, rocketing through skies at Mach 2, its jagged maw a terror to anything airborne, linking perhaps to the fearsome ancestors of modern bird Pokémon like Pidgeot, or even the elusive Rayquaza. These revivals aren't just parlor tricks. They illuminate lost chapters in Pokémon phylogeny. Ammonite's lineage whispers of spiral-shelled forebears that seeded the spiraling evolutions of modern shelders like Cloyster or even the pearl-clutching Clamperl. Kabuto's scythes parallel the slashing prowess in lines like Scyther to Scizor, while Aerodactyl's flight prowess foreshadows the aerial dominance of Staraptor or Bravery. Pokédex entries paint them as relics of a savage era. Ammonite, extinct for 10 million years, yet revived to spray ink-like fluid. Kabutops, swam by slicing fins through water at 60 miles per hour. Aerodactyl, a ferocious airborne scavenger. Their DNA, preserved in amber and limestone, suggests Mew's genetic soup bubbled up these forms first, branching into the verdant forests and coral reefs we know. But not all fossil experiments end in triumph. Venture to Galar's Winden Fossil Restoration Lab, and you'll find a darker artistry at play. The abominations of Galar, Dracozolt Dracovish, Arctozolt Arctovish, arise from mismatched fossil halves, bird torsos grafted to lizard heads or fish jaws, altered to draconic legs in a frenzy of unethical splicing. Dracozolt lurches on mismatched limbs, its bird legs sparking electricity from a neck that shouldn't exist, while Dracovish gapes with an oversized fish head, devouring anything in reach, its body a patchwork of doom. These Frankensteins, born from fossil printers combining drifting fossils, like the bird and Draco halves, defy natural evolution, their unstable forms collapsing under Frankenstein physics, yet they thunder across stadiums with gigavolt shocks or crushing bites. Purists call them abominations, echoes of mad science tampering with Arceus's design, but they force us to question. Could ancient extinction events have left hybrid survivors, precursors to convergent evolutions like Tyrantrum? These fossil lines stretch the canvas of Pokémon origins, from the Cambrian explosion of tentacled horrors to the Cretaceous skies ruled by Aerodactyl flocks. Their remains, compressed into coal seams that power revival machines today. They remind us evolution isn't linear. It's a labyrinth of dead ends and revivals, where stone whispers of mega-ancient floods reshaping genes, seeding the likes of Caracosta or Tyranitar. Oceanic cradles birthed most, with spirals and domes hinting at why water types outnumber others, their shells enduring where flesh failed. As we unearth these extinct lines, the fossil record points to even murkier epochs, where proto-Pokémon roamed under unfamiliar stars. That brings us to Chapter 17, Hisui and the lost evolutions of the past, where ancient distortions rewrite evolutions we thought we knew. What hidden forms waited in that snowy frontier? Those mismatched fossil creatures of Galar, pieced together from fragmented bones, pale in comparison to the ancient evolutions that once roamed the wilds of Hisui, a land untouched by modern hands, where Pokémon transformed in ways long forgotten by time. In the misty cradle of Hisui, over 300 years before the bustling ports of Kanto or the foggy highlands of Johto, evolution wasn't just a spark of level or stone. It was a raw communion with the land's primal forces. Picture the towering pines of the obsidian fieldlands, where herds of Stantler wandered, their antlers twisting like branches caught in an eternal gale. These majestic deer Pokémon, with eyes that pierced illusions and horns that channeled psychic tempests, held within them the potential for something greater. But only those who honed a singular, ferocious technique could ascend. Stantler's transition into Wyrdeer came through the mastery of Psyshield Bash, a move where psychic barriers clash like thunder against an enemy's might, building resilience with every resounding strike. Imagine training one under the aurora-veiled skies, its antlers glowing as it rams forward, erecting invisible shields that absorb blows and hurl them back twofold. Only after perfecting this dance of defense and fury did the Stantler's form elongate, its antlers crystallizing into a majestic crown, birthing Wyrdeer, a sage of the wilds whose gaze could warp reality itself, leading lost travelers through blizzards with unerring clarity. Pokédex scholars whisper that Wyrdeer's evolved mind taps into ancestral memories, guiding its kin where no map could. Yet not all Hisuian evolutions carried such noble grace. Some were born from sorrow's depths, echoing the sacrifices of battles long past. Deep in the churning waters of the Cobalt coastlands, schools of white-striped Basculin thrashed against relentless currents, their scales flashing like silver blades. These fierce fish Pokémon evolved not through levels alone, but through unrelenting pain, taking recoil damage exceeding 294 points without fainting. A threshold that tested their very spirit. Survivors emerged as Basculegion, colossal leviathans with translucent fins shimmering like ghostly veils. The tragic lore of Basculegion reveals they are powered by the souls of fallen comrades, those Basculin who perished in the struggle, their essences fusing into the victor's body to fuel a spectral leap. Feel the weight of that in the quiet lapping of waves at dusk. A Basculegion gliding silently, its movements propelled by whispers of the departed, eyes glowing with an otherworldly blue fire. Legends from Hisui's clan elders speak of them as guardians of the fallen, surging upstream in defiance of waterfalls, their phantom boosts turning the tide against noble foes like Hisuian Gudra. In the anime's fleeting glimpses, trainers who bond with these spirits feel the chill of those lost souls, a haunting reminder that evolution here demanded more than strength. It required carrying the weight of the departed. This era's transformations wove even tighter into the Earth's own rhythms, pulling from peat bogs and crimson swamps where modern eyes rarely tread. Ursaring, the hulking bear of Sinnoh's caves, foraged through Hisui's peat-ridden hollows, its honey-smeared claws digging into soil rich with ancient decay. When presented with a peat block, profess an essence of forgotten moors. It shed its familiar bulk for Ursaluna, a behemoth whose matted fur blended with the mud, nostrils flaring to detect buried treasures from leagues away. This earthy titan lumbered with earth-shaking steps, its guts ability igniting fury when poisoned or burned, turning debility into dominance. But why did such lines as Ursaluna vanish in the modern era? As Hisui bloomed into Sinnoh, the peat, bogs dried under shifting climates and human expansion, stripping away the precise conditions needed for that evolution. Ursaring adapted, reverting to simpler level-based growth, their descendants scattering to mountains where honey flows freer than mud. Pokédex entries mourn this loss. Ursaluna's massive form, once a terror of the wetlands, now exists only in faded scrolls and rare sightings, a relic of when environments dictated destiny more fiercely than any trainer's command. Hisui's lost evolutions ripple further, threading through shadowed thickets and volcanic crags. Sneasel, that sly weasel of icy claws, traded its dark mischief for Hisuian ferocity, evolving into Sneasler via Razor Claw under the Hisui moon's eerie pull. A poison-fighting assassin leaping from treetops with venomous strikes that paralyzed noble warriors. Nearby, Quillfish bloated into Overquill, spines erect like a living porcupine fortress, its Matsutake-scented poison felling foes in barrages. Even Lilligant danced into Hisuian splendor with sunstones harvested from dawn-kissed meadows, petals unfurling in radiant grass-type glory, while Avalug's icy armor cracked open to reveal the serpentine Baxcalibur, forged in dragonfire breath that shattered boulders. These weren't mere variants. They were evolutions attuned to Hisui's volatile spirits. Earthquakes from Enamoris's whims, noble Pokémon surveys, charting their paths amid red sky portents. Basculegion's spectral kin found echoes in Wyrdeer's psychic lineage, both guardians shaped by communal trials. Stantler's herds would clash antlers in ritual bouts, perfecting Psyshield Bash amid the crunch of snow, only the strongest emerging with crystalline racks. Wyrdeer then led migrations across Coronet Highlands, their third eye unveiling hidden paths through spectral mists. Ursaluna, meanwhile, slumbered in peat hollows, awakening to gorge on buried relics, its roars summoning bog spirits that modern Ursaring could only dream of. The land itself seemed to breed these changes. Lava flows birthing Sliggoo's hardened shells into Hisuian Gudra, steel dragons weeping corrosive tears, Electabuzz crackling into Electabuzz's fiery cousin. But wait, no, Hisuian Typhlosion, from Quilava's embers stoked by the land's mystic flames, its ghostly aura haunting the night with purple wisps. What bound these lost paths? Hisui's isolation, a pocket of time where Arceus's gaze lingered close, allowing evolutions unbound by later generations' rules. Fossils like those Galar abominations hinted at antiquity's chaos, but Hisui offered purity. Recoil forged spirits, Movemaster dissensions, block-induced behemoths, all fading as the world warmed, forests encroached, and Pokémon migrated to safer climes. Trainers of that era, like the Galaxy Team's surveyors, witnessed Clever's scything blades emerge from Scyther's razor claws, Stone Age fury tamed by ancient relics, or Bergmite's line culminating in Hisuian Avalug, blocky behemoths guarding glacial passes. As these ancient forms recede into myth, their stories whisper of evolutions yet to unfold in lands where crystals pulse with untamed energy. Up next, Paldea and the Terrestrial Energy beckons, where Pokémon shatter type barriers in crystalline rebirths that could redefine every line we've traced so far. From the shadowed mists of Hisui, where Stantler's antlers twisted into the mystic gaze of Wyrdeer, and Basculegion, rose haunted by the spirits of the departed, the river of time flows onward to the sun-drenched hills of Paldea. Here, in this vast Iberian paradise of terraced vineyards and jagged peaks, a new force stirs beneath the earth, reshaping the very essence of growth itself. Terrestrial energy, that shimmering crystalline power born from the depths, pulses through the land like a hidden heartbeat, altering how Pokémon mature and transform in ways no other region has witnessed. Deep within Paldea's core lies Area Zero, a colossal crater veiled in perpetual twilight, where ancient secrets collide with the present. This forbidden chasm, ringed by sheer cliffs, and glowing with veins of terra crystals, exerts a profound influence on the growth patterns of local species. Pokémon drawn near its edges absorb fragments of this radiant energy, accelerating their development in unpredictable bursts. Imagine the wild herds of Lechonk grazing on the crater's fringes, their bodies plumping faster than their inland kin, fattening into robust oinkalong under the subtle irradiation, or the swarms of Dynamax, their bond-strengthened unions evolving into mousehold families twice as swiftly. As if the terrestrial glow weaves their tiny threads of life into denser tapestries, even the skies feel it. Wattrel soaring over the abyss molt into killer Wattrel, with feathers crackling unnaturally bright, their migratory instincts warped by the energy's pull. Area Zero doesn't just nurture, it mutates, imprinting crystalline facets into shells, hides and blooms, turning ordinary maturation into a symphony of prismatic change. This energy echoes in the evolutions unique to Paldea, where growth demands more than battles or levels. It craves connection to the world around it. Take Pormo, a pint-sized electric rodent with paws that spark like live wires, scampering across Paldea's rugged trails. Unlike its predecessors who leveled up in the heat of combat, Pormo's path to power hinges on raw exploration. You must carry it at your side, let it trot thousands of steps through dusty paths, misty forests and sun-baked plateaus, its tiny legs pounding out a rhythm of discovery. After a full 1,000 paces, each one a testament to shared adventure, it cries out, "Let's go," and surges into Pormot, its body bulking with muscular vigor, paws transforming into thunderous hammers capable of shattering stone. This isn't mere walking, it's a pilgrimage, mirroring how Paldea's vast open world invites trainers to roam freely, fostering growth through motion and curiosity. Pormo's evolution whispers of ancient nomads, their Pokémon toughening alongside them on endless journeys, now revived in this era of boundless horizons. The oceans of Paldea hold their own terrestrial-tinged marvels, where teamwork across distances unlocks hidden potentials. Finizen, the sleek bottlenose dolphin gliding through turquoise waves off the western coasts, embodies the sea's playful spirit, leaping in synchronized pods that dazzle fishermen at dusk. Alone it remains in its base form, agile but unremarkable, yet bring friends. Other trainers link through Paldea's union circles and switch it out in battle, passing the baton like a relay swimmer handing off to the next. In that instant of withdrawal and return, Finizen erupts into its hero form as Palafin, zero form shattering into a towering caped crusader with water blades for arms and a heroic stance that commands the waves. This transformation, triggered by the simple act of switching out amid multiplier bonds, reflects Paldea's emphasis on collaboration, where evolutions aren't solitary triumphs but shared spectacles. Pokédex scholars note how Finizen's pod dynamics amplify under terrestrial influence, their dorsal fins gleaming with crystal hues near coastal terra outcrops, hinting that Area Zero's energy even seeps into the saltwater, urging these marine mammals toward greater feats of unity. Terrestrial energy weaves through countless other lines here, from the stone-mimicking Clorf cracking open at level 24, to reveal its claw-wielding fury, or the fungal Fidoff rising into the oven-hot Daxbun under the warmth of friendship and trade. But it's the crater's shadow that lingers, a reminder that Paldea's evolutions pulse with an otherworldly rhythm, blending natural progression with crystalline alchemy. Tinkatink forges its hammer from fallen debris infused with terra shards, evolving into the blacksmith might of Tinkaton after a mere 20 steps of its own, as if echoing Pormo's exploratory zeal. Even the ghostly mimics like Mimikyu don their tattered Pikachu cloaks faster in the crater's gloom, their evolutions to nothing more than whispers of envy, amplified by the ambient glow. As Paldea's transformations shimmer to a close, a deeper rift beckons, one where time itself fractures, pitting ancient behemoths against futuristic phantoms. In the next chapter, Paradox Pokémon Past versus Future will unravel how Area Zero birthed these temporal anomalies, creatures that defy errors, and challenge everything we know about evolution's arrow. What secrets do these ironclad titans and sleek invaders hold? And how do they rewrite Paldea's hidden history? Drift deeper with me as we delve deeper into Area Zero's shimmering crystals and endless chasms, the terrestrial energy that reshaped Pormo into Pormot through those determined steps begins to pale against something far more unsettling. Strange rifts tear open in the fabric of reality, spilling forth Pokémon that defy the very flow of time itself. These are the Paradox Pokémon, hulking behemoths from Paldea's ancient past in Scarlet, or sleek machines from a distant future in Violet, creatures that crash into our world like thunder from yesterday or tomorrow. Picture the dusty plains of prehistoric Paldea, where massive tusked titans roam under skies untouched by human hands. Great Tusk emerges from these temporal wounds, its armoured shell cracked like weathered stone, tusks curving like scimitars forged in forgotten eras. This brute stands as the savage ancestor to the modern Donphan, rolling across savannas with a primal fury that shakes the earth. No gentle evolution here, just raw survival etched into every bony plate. Across the timeline's divide, Iron Valiant slices through the neon haze of a cybernetic tomorrow, its blades humming with futuristic energy, a fusion of Gardevoir's grace and Galade's lethality, elevated to godlike precision. Great Tusk and Iron Valiant serve as divergent evolutionary endpoints. One, the brutish root, clawing from the mud of prehistory. The other, the pinnacle of technological transcendence, both splintering from lines we thought we understood. Yet what truly haunts the researchers huddled in Area Zero's labs is the enigma at their core. Are these paradox forms the true ancestors that birthed our familiar Pokémon through eons of adaptation, their rugged hides softening into Donphan's tough skin, or their psychic edges sharpening into Galad's folds? Or do they loom as descendants, future visions warped by time's relentless march, warning of evolutions yet to come? Perhaps they are neither, mere figments conjured by the professor's twisted machines, holographic ghosts powered by infinite energy to test the boundaries of life. Pokédex scans flicker with conflicting data, whispering of extinct species for the ancients and extra-dimensional invaders for the future ones, leaving to pore over fossil records that don't match and energy signatures that pulse backward through clocks. This temporal chaos upends everything we've traced across generations, from Bulbasaur's steady bloom to Blaziken's fiery ascent. Traditional evolution lines march in neat 1, 2, or 3-stage progressions, level by level, stone by stone, friendship by friendship. But Paradox Pokémon shatter that mold. They arrive fully formed, no pre-evos trailing behind, no trades or recoils to bridge the gap. Great Tusk doesn't hatch from a baby form, it rampages into existence, a dead-end branch from Donphan's family tree that loops back on itself. Iron Valiant bypasses the psychic dances of Kirlia and Ralts, manifesting as if Galad and Gardevoir converged in a quantum split. These aren't branches or convergence, they're fractures in the lineage, suggesting timelines where evolutions forked not through battles or bonds, but through cataclysms of time. Wander the crater's depths, and you'll hear the low rumbles of Screamtail, echoing like a saber-toothed feline from saber-toothed dreams, or the whir of Iron Bundle, darting like a cryogenic penguin from Labs Unborn. Each paradox form tugs at the threads of history. Take the ancient roaring moon, its bat-like wings spanning nightmares, a draconic echo that might have shadowed the first Salamence in volcanic lairs. Or Walking Wake, Suicune's primal silhouette rippling through misty primordial swamps, its cry a howl that predates the legendary beasts themselves. Their future counterparts gleam with chrome menace. Iron hands pulsing with android strength where Hariyama once wrestled sumo style. Iron Jugalis shredding skies like a fragmented Hydreigon rebuilt in silicon nightmares. The professor's logs, fragmented and feverish, hint at the truth buried in Terrapagos's radiant shell at the crater's heart. Sada's voice crackles from Scarlet's archives, obsessed with reclaiming the past's purity. while Turo's digital ghost in violet chases progress unbound. Did they summon these anomalies? Or did the rifts summon them? Battles against these invaders reveal powers unbound by stages. Great Tusk's headlong rush buries foes in seismic fury. Iron Valiant's spirit break rends the mind before the body falls. Trainers who capture them find no evolutions awaiting, just eternal potency, challenging the very idea that growth demands transformation. In Paldea's folklore, elders speak of time eaters that devoured eras, leaving only echoes in the genes of modern Pokémon. Donphan herds in the wild occasionally shudder, their roles growing wilder as if sensing their savage kin. Gardevoir lines in quiet meadows gaze skyward, psychic senses as tingling with visions of blade-wielding shadows yet to arrive. This isn't mere divergence, it's a re-evaluation of every line we've chronicled. From the fossil revivals of Omanite to the recoil-fueled tragedy of Basculegion. What if Mew's ancient dance birthed not just branches, but loops? What if Arceus wove time itself into the pattern? As these paradoxes claw their way into our reality, forcing us to question the arrow of evolution, we turn our gaze to those Pokémon that stand alone, defying change altogether. Coming up next in Chapter 20, the oddities of single-stage species, where we'll uncover why some creatures refuse to evolve at all, hiding secrets in their unchanging forms that might just keep you listening through the night. I hope you're as amazed by this as I am. If you want to stay updated on more content like this, make sure to subscribe and join our community of curious minds. Trust me, what's coming next will challenge everything you thought you knew, while paradox Pokémon like Great Tusk and Iron Valiant twist the very notion of evolutionary endpoints, leaving us to wonder if they're echoes from the past, glimpses of the future, or something unreal altogether. There are Pokémon that sidestep the chain of change entirely. They emerge fully formed, unchanging, as if evolution itself paused to admire their completeness. Consider Lapras, that serene transport of the seas, gliding through icy waters with a song that echoes across frozen horizons. Unlike the branching paths of so many ocean-kin, Lapras carries no pre-evolution, no juvenile stage shedding shell or fin for greater power. It hatches from its egg already majestic, neck arched like a living bridge between islands, shell humming with ancient rhythms. Why Pokémon like Lapras, Pinsir, and Druddigon do not evolve lies in their self-contained perfection. They've arrived at a form so ideally suited to their world that further transformation would disrupt the balance. Pinsir clamps the jungle undergrowth with scissor-like horns, a predator honed for crushing prey in the dim tangle of vines and shadows. No awkward larval phase precedes it. It bursts forth ready to rend, its exoskeleton a fortress of unyielding chitin. Druddigon, meanwhile, lurks in craggy mountain lairs, scales etched with fiery runes that glow against the stone. This draconic sentinel needs no growth spurt to command respect. Its raw power pulses from the cradle, jaws wide enough to swallow echoes of lesser beasts. These single-stage species whisper of a deeper lore, one where evolution isn't a relentless climb, but a rare summit reached early. The perfected form theory suggests that some lineages peaked long before recorded history, stabilizing into ideals that nature dared not alter. Picture vast prehistoric seas, where Lapras ancestors roamed unchallenged, their psychic songs weaving harmonies that calm tempests, rendering further size or strength unnecessary. In primordial forests, Pinsir's forebears may have ruled as apex crushers, their grips evolving to perfection amid endless cycles of feast and fray, until no rival demanded more. High in ancient peaks, Druddigon's line forged scales tough as magma flows, surviving cataclysms that wiped out evolving cousins, emerging as eternal guardians. Pokédex scholars muse that these Pokémon represent evolutionary platypus, forms so efficient they bypass the pressures that drive change in others. Lapras, with its blend of transport, might and melodic calm, fills an ecological niche without flaw, ferrying trainers across vast oceans while cradling eggs in its curve, a maternal vessel untouched by time. Pinsir thrives in the understory's chaos, its vice-like hold, adapting not through stages but subtle shifts across generations, always the same relentless hunter. Drudigon embodies the dragon's primal fury, territorial roars shaking cliffs, its rough skin a testament to battles won without needing bulkier armor or fiercer flames. Yet, not all single stages remain untouched by the march of discovery. Some once solitary final forms gained pre-evolutions in later eras, retrofitting their histories with hidden youths. This shift unlocks a competitive edge in battles, where the Eviolite gleams as a game-changer. Imagine a young form clutching this mysterious stone, defenses swelling by half in special and physical realms, turning middling stages into unbreachable walls. Species that were once single-stage now wield this advantage mid-line. Think of a pillar swine, juvenile kin to the ancient mammoth swine, its defenses ballooning under Eviolite's glow, stalling evolutions to exploit that boosted resilience against sweeping assaults. In competitive arenas, trainers covet these Eviolite bearers for their paradox. Power deferred for ironclad staying power. A Dusclops, once a lone spectre, now shadows forth from Duskull, its ethereal form fortified to shrug off blows that would shatter evolving peers. Wynaught precedes Wobbuffet, that psychic oddity, ballooning defenses to mirror its mature bounce while plotting unseen strikes. Even Clampearl, solitary Pearl Guardian turned mid-stage, with its Huntail and Gorobis branches, channels Eviolite to endure before the split. This item, born of Univan ingenuity, rewards those lineages that history later expanded, bridging their perfected past with tactical futures. Delving deeper, the perfected form theory paints a timeline where these Pokémon diverged early from Mew's mythical progeny, while most lines branched and climbed through Kanto's labs, and Yorto's friendships. Single-stage like Lapras, fossilized in form amid Hisuian mists or Paldean wilds. Fossil records hint at their antiquity. Drudigon's rugged hide echoing Dracozolt's mismatched vigor, yet stable where others fragmented. Pinsir's grip mirrors the unyielding clamps of ancient Kabuto, but without the need for armored rebirth. Lapras evokes Lapras herds, thundering across glacial expanses, songs preserving oral histories of forgotten continents, evolution deemed redundant for such cultural sentinels. Pinsir patrols Herba Mystica groves in scarlet and violet's depths, horns snipping rarities with surgical precision, a form refined over eons of territorial wars. Drudigon claims cave networks laced with territorial scars, flames licking walls in displays that deter all comers, its single stage a roar against obsolescence. Even in modern metas, their stasis shines. Lapras commands with Ice Beam's chill breath and Surf's tidal wrath, no Mega or Gigantamax required. Pinsir crushes with boosted vices, post-Mega Stone trials, proving its core unbreakable. Drudigon shreds with Rough Skin's vengeful thorns, outlasting foes in endurance duels. The Eviolite's boon extends this philosophy to their newly babied kin, like a Vigoroth, Slakoth's rowdy youth, tanking hits with primate fury amplified, delaying its slaking lethargy for strategic dominance. These oddities challenge the evolutionary imperative, suggesting not all paths lead upward. Some crest the wave fully formed, rippling through time unchanged. As we ponder these unchanging icons, a subtler divide emerges in other lines, where evolution hinges on something as intimate as form itself. Chapters into gender dimorphism and evolutionary locks, revealing how males and females fork into wildly different fates, locking certain paths forever, while some Pokémon, like Lapras or Pinsir, stand alone as perfected forms that never need to change. Others face evolutionary paths gated by something far more primal, their very gender. In the Pokémon world, dimorphism doesn't just shape appearances, it locks destinies, forcing lines to split along male and female divides, where one path blooms and the other stalls. Take the Salandit line from Alola's volcanic wilds. Salandit hatches with a toxic gleam in its eyes, a pint-sized poison fire lizard scurrying through ash-choked caves, exhaling fumes that sting the air. Males and females look nearly identical at first, sleek black bodies laced with red ridges, but evolution reveals the cruel lock. Only females reach level 33 and shed their juvenile form, elongating into the serpentine Salazzle, a towering queen draped in glittering purple scales, her tail whipping like a living flame. Males, they remain forever Salandit, stunted poison spitters, no matter how many battles they endure or levels they grind. This isn't mere chance. It's woven into Salazzle's lore through intoxicating pheromones. Pokédex entries whisper of her allure. She secretes a chemical haze that bends male Salandit to her will, turning them into a devoted harem of servants. They fetch food, defend her territory, and toil without question, their minds clouded in euphoric obedience. Imagine the hierarchy in those lava tunnels. Salazzle lounging atop cooled obsidian, her body pulsing with heat as a dozen males circle below, eyes glazed, fetching glittering gems from molten pools. Biologists in the Pokémon world speculate these pheromones mimic ancient mating signals, evolved to ensure her dominance in resource-scarce environments. Females who fail to evolve, they wander alone, outcompeted, a reminder that nature here favours the manipulative matriarch. Salazzle's raids and human settlements for supplements underscore this, stealing vitamins to fuel her endless seduction, leaving farmers bewitched and barren. Visual splendour meets this lock in the Pyroar pride from Kalos' sun-baked savannas. Litleo starts as a fuzzy cub, golden fur tufted with crimson mane hints, roaring playfully amid tall grasses that sway like ocean waves. Both genders evolve at level 35 into Pyroar, but here dimorphism paints them as regal opposites. Males erupt into leonine majesty, massive, flowing manes cascading in fiery waves of yellow, orange and red, framing a fierce face that commands the plains. Their roars echo for miles, a sonic blaze that scatters herds and rallies allies, fur igniting in battle to form a blazing crown. Females, though, embody sleek lethality, their manes shortened to elegant, angular crests sweeping backward like thorny flames, accentuating elongated snouts and piercing eyes. No bulky grandeur, just streamlined grace, bodies coiled for the ambush pounce. Pokédex lore paints males as pride leaders, strutting with solar-charged fire that rivals the midday sun, while females hunt in shadows, their precise flame searing prey before it flees. These differences aren't cosmetic, they dictate roles. A male Pyroar holds territory with sheer presence, mane flaring to intimidate rivals, while a female's form slices through wind for high-speed chases. In the wild, prides balance this. Males defend, females provide, evolution sculpting them as yin and yang of the fire-roaring feline world. Trainers who raise both marvel at the contrast. A male's vein billowing like a solar sail, a female's crest sharp as embers frozen mid-spark. Deeper still, gender entwines with stones to forge true forks, as seen in the Ralts lineage from Hoenn's misty forests. Ralts emerges empathetic, horned head sensing emotions like ripples in a psychic pond, evolving at level 20 into Kirlia. The graceful dancer, skirt-like body twirling with telekinetic poise. Females follow the seamless path. Kirlia to Gardevoir at level 30, blossoming into an elegant guardian draped in white gown folds, red horn finial glowing like a noble crest. Her psychic embrace shields trainers utterly, Pokédex calling her devotion profound. She folds space itself to protect those she cherishes, a maternal force veiled in ethereal beauty. Males, however, face the crossroads. A male Kirlia hits level 30 and yearns for more, but without intervention, stalls short of Gardevoir's pinnacle. Enter the Dawn Stone, a crystallized sliver of morning light, pulsing with transformative dawn energy. Exposed to it, the male Kirlia surges into Galad blades, erupting from armored elbows, green exoskeleton hardening into a knightly frame. No flowing robes here, but razor precision. Dual scythe arms slicing air with psychic-infused fury, red horns sharpening to vigilant peaks. Pokédex lore contrasts them sharply. Gardevoir the selfless protector, weaving barriers from pure will. Galad the chivalric blade, sensing hostility across vast distances to preemptively strike. This split echoes ancient Hoenn myths of dual guardians, one of nurture, one of wrath. Females locked to Gardevoir embody serenity's power. Males choosing Galad's path through stone ritual, a deliberate unlock mimicking select breeding in nature's grand design. These locks ripple through ecosystems. Salazzle's harem sustains her empire. Pyra prides thrive on gendered roles. Ralt's lines balance empathy with enforcement. Dimorphism ensures survival. Males as soldiers or servants. Females as strategists or sovereigns. Evolution's way of diversifying strength without endless branches. Yet questions linger. Do stoneless males resent their Gardevoir sisters? Do Pyro mains signal status in mating dances under Kalos stars? As these gendered gates reveal nature's calculated imbalances, consider what happens when evolution demands not birthright or gems, but the raw mastery of a signature move. Up next in Chapter 22, the role of moves and mastery, where we'll uncover how perfecting techniques like Stomp or Psyshield Bash flips the switch on transformation, turning everyday training into ritualistic breakthroughs that redefine potential. While gender and stones carve divergent paths like those of Ralts into Galad or Gardevoir, or Salandit's pheromones reserving power for females alone, a fiercer trial awaits Pokémon whose growth hinges on raw combat mastery. These evolutions demand not just time or affection, but the repeated forging of a signature move in the heat of battle, etching skills deep into muscle and spirit until the body yields to transformation. Consider Primeape, that seething ball of fury from the Kanto wilds, its pig-like eyes burning with unending rage. Once a simple Mankey evolved through levels into this perpetual scrapper. Primeape wandered aimlessly, punching shadows and foes alike, its anger a bottomless well. But in the shadowed valleys of Paldea, something shifted. Trainers noticed its claws twitching, spectral wisps flickering at its edges during fights. The key lay in Rage Fist, a move born of pure vendetta. Each time Primeape lands it after taking a hit, the strike grows deadlier, power stacking like grudges in its veins. Use it 20 times and the fury overflows. Ghostly arms erupt from its back, cold and vengeful, wrapping its form in a shroud of purple haze. Primeape becomes Annihilape, a towering spectre of wrath, its 4 limbs now weapons of annihilation. Pokédex scribes whisper of souls ensnared, the rage of fallen foes fueling this ghostly ascent, turning blind anger into calculated doom. No levels suffice here. It's the act of unleashing that fist again and again, tasting defeats 70 times over, that cracks the shell of its mortal frame. This isn't mere coincidence. Combat experience carves physical change beyond the steady climb of levels, imprinting lessons that reshape flesh and bone. Battles teach precision, timing, the weight of every blow, accelerating maturity in ways passive training never could. Primeape's saga echoes ancient Sinnoh tales, where warriors honed strikes until spirits awakened, but Paldea's dust-choked arenas made it real. Imagine the sweat-slick fur, the roar echoing off canyon walls as the 20th Rage Fist connects, body convulsing, arms phasing through the air like mist. Annihilape rises, eyes hollow yet alive with purpose, its presence chilling the air, a testament to how repeated mastery transmutes rage into something eternal. Across the seas in Alola's humid groves, another dance of maturity unfolds with Bounsweet's line. This fruit-like sprite, swaying on delicate stems, blossoms into Steenie at level 29, her cheeks puffing with newfound sass. Yet Steenie stalls there, kicking playfully, but lacking the force to claim her throne. Tsarina demands proof, a warrior's poise, not childish hop. She must learn Stomp, that thunderous heel drop which quakes the earth and crushes resolve. Only then, with Stomp etched into her stance, does Steenie shed her novice skin. Legs elongate into porcelain pillars of power, hips widening for lethal spins, crown sharpening into a verdant tiara. Serena emerges, queen of the canopy, her drop kick a whirlwind of regal fury, every step a declaration of dominance. Steenie's trial mirrors nature's harsh cull. Younglings frolic until battle hardens them, Stomp symbolizing the shift from play to predation. Alolan lore paints her as the orchard guardian, fruit scent luring prey before heels pulverize. Without that move's mastery, no amount of levels or sun-soaked days. She remains forever the awkward adolescent, kicking leaves instead of foes. Feel the humid breeze through vine-choked ruins. Hear the thud of practice strikes against roots, until one perfect stomp rends the air, body stretching skyward in verdant glory. Combat's rhythm dictates it all, forging queens from saplings through relentless proof. These evolutions reveal a profound truth woven through Pokémon history. Levels mark time, but moves mark mastery. From Generation 9's Paldean innovations back to earlier whispers. Like Inkay flipping to Malamar only after perfecting its levitation in upside-down strife. Battle scars trigger metamorphosis. Primeape's ghostly rage. Steenie's stomping sovereignty. They pulse with the same heartbeat. Experience in the fray, move after move, overrides the grind of solitary growth. Bodies adapt not to age, but to the symphony of strikes, dodges, and triumphs, echoing Arceus's ancient forge where skills birthed forms. Trainers who've chased these paths speak of the thrill. The counter-building on Primeape's hide, the first earth-shaking stomp from Steenie. Moments where potential ignites, yet mysteries linger in how far combat can push change. What if the tool isn't forged in battle alone, but cradled in a symbiotic bond with a held item? Unlocking evolutions through quiet fusion. Chapter 23 dives into item-held evolutions and symbiosis, where everyday objects become catalysts for profound alliances. Stick around as we uncover those hidden partnerships. While mastering a technique like Rage Fist or Stomp marks a Pokémon's readiness for change, some evolutions demand something more physical. A tool gripped tightly, sharpening instincts until the moment of metamorphosis arrives. Take Gligar, the crafty flying and ground type from Yoto's rugged skies. This bat-like glider drifts through twilight caves, its purple membrane wings slicing silent paths on nocturnal updrafts. Gligar's evolution hinges on the Razor Fang, a jagged shard said to be forged from ancient Gliscor's own shed barbs, infused with the essence of midnight winds. To trigger the change, Gligar must hold this fang overnight, under the cover of darkness, where lunar energies seep into its pores. Picture it perched on a sheer cliff face, as stars wheel overhead, the fang's edge humming against its claw, awakening dormant spikes along its back. By dawn, Gligar sheds its playful gliding form, elongating into Gliscor, a venomous predator with retractable stingers, poison dripping from tail and forearms, ready to impale prey mid-flight. Pokédex lore whispers that only in Night's Embrace does the fang resonate, mimicking the primal hunts of Gligar's ancestors, when they navigated pitch-black chasms without a whisper of light. Trainers in the Sinnoh region have reported Gligar rejecting the fang during daylight holds, as if the tool senses the wrong rhythm, underscoring how these evolutions sync with natural cycles. This reliance on held items echoes across Johto's shadowed lineages, where sharpness begets supremacy. Sneasel, the sly dark and ice weasel from Icy Pinnacles, embodies that edge perfectly. With its sleek black fur, crimson feather crest, and scythe-like claws, Sneasel prowls Mount Silver's frosted slopes, slashing through blizzards to claim territory. Its path to Weavile demands the Razor Claw, a crystalline talon unearthed from glacial crevices, etched with frozen malice from eons past. Sneasel clutches this claw during battle or rest, its chill seeping into muscles, owning reflexes until evolution surges. The transformation is brutal poetry. Sneasel's single feathers multiply into a jagged mane, arms bulk into dual scimitars, and its speed triples, birthing Weavile, a merciless assassin whose claws carve ice sculptures from foes in a single stroke. In the Diamond and Pearl era, researchers noted Sneasel's grip tightening under moonlight, much like Gligar's fang ritual, suggesting these items act as catalysts, amplifying latent ferocity. Weavile's Pokédex entry paints it as a bandit of the peaks, sweeping villages clean, a direct inheritance from Sneasel's thieving guile, now weaponized by the claw's unforgiving bite. These item-held evolutions reveal a deeper pattern in Pokémon biology, not mere accessories, but extensions of the body, bridging weakness to dominance. Yet some bonds transcend holding. They fuse permanently, as in the enigmatic symbiosis of Slowpoke and Shelder. Slowpoke, the dopey water and psychic type from Kanto's sleepy shores, ambles through mangroves with a vacant stare, its tail perpetually dripping salty water. This tail isn't just for fishing, it's a beacon. When a Shelder, the bivalve guardian of ocean trenches, latches onto that tail with iron jaws, the alchemy begins. Slowpoke evolves into Slowbro, its body surging with sudden awareness, tail thickening into a coiled club, while Shelder morphs into an armoured helmet, fused forever. No levels, no trades, just this parasitic pack turning symbiosis into strength. Slowbro stands taller now, psychic pulses rippling from its enhanced brain, the Shelder pumping nutrients and defense in exchange for a steady perch. Lore from the anime depicts Slowpoke lines in Seafoam Islands, where tidal pools teem with opportunistic shellers, fighting indiscriminately until the perfect match clicks. Pokédex tales hint at ancient origins, Shelder drawn to Slowpoke's nutrient-rich tail like iron to a magnet, evolving together into a hybrid juggernaut capable of crushing boulders with psychic tail whips. Sever the bond, and both revert, Slowpoke dazed, Shelder adrift, proving their fates entwined, a living testament to coevolution's delicate balance. In regions like Sinnoh and Unova, these mechanics proliferated, with razor fangs and claws unearthed from dig sites mimicking fossilized claws of prehistoric flyers and slashers. Gligar trainers in the battle zone recount nights where the fang glows faintly, syncing heartbeats to ancestral rhythms. Nisqul packs in Alola's frozen peaks hoard claws like trophies, passing them down lineages. Slowbro's union evokes coastal myths, where Slowpoke herds migrate to Shelder reefs, the ocean itself orchestrating these mergers, amid crashing waves and bioluminescent glows. Such evolutions challenge the idea of solitary growth. They demand partnership with relics or partners, tools sharpening the soul's edge. Beyond claws and fangs, item-held paths weave through Unova's shadows too. Scyther gripping a metal coat to forge Scizor, its fragile wings hardening into armoured fury. But Yoto's Razor Duo and Kanto's Tailbiter set the template, tools as nocturnal keys unlocking forms attuned to darkness and depths. Imagine Gliscor's first venomous dive post-evolution, or Weavile's claw symphony in a moonlit duel, or Slowbro's unyielding stance against tidal fury. These aren't random, they're forged in grip and bite. As we linger on these tangible triggers, a warmer current emerges in Pokémon lore, where bonds of affection and trust spark changes without fang or shell. That brings us to the science of friendship and affection, where invisible ties between trainer and Pokémon ignite evolutions in ways that might just redefine synergy for you tonight. As the Razor Claw hones a Sneasel's edge into Weavile's lethal precision, so too do subtler forces awaken potential in Pokémon, not through fang or claw, but through the quiet pulse of trust shared between companions. These evolutions, born of bonds, first emerged in the Johto region, where Golbat's wings, once leathery and strained, unfurl into Crobat's swift grace, only after its trainer proves unwavering loyalty. Picture the dim cave glow, the bat Pokémon hanging inverted, its heart rate syncing with the human footsteps echoing below. High friendship, earned through battles side by side and soothing berries fed by hand, triggers a cellular shift. The membranes thicken, veins pulse with renewed vigor, transforming a nocturnal drifter into a wind-cutting ally. This friendship mechanic, introduced in the Gold and Silver era, rippled across generations, touching lines from every corner of the Pokémon world. Take the Woobat lineage. Woobat levels up amid heartfelt camaraderie, its heart-shaped nose glowing brighter as it becomes Swoobat's psychic waves amplifying with emotional resonance. Or Chingling to Chimecho, where a tinkling bell echoes the trainer's encouragement, reshaping its ethereal form under Johto's starry skies. Even the steadfast Probopass evolves from Nosepass only in specific magnetic fields, but its pre-evo line whispers of bonds. Rhyhorn to Raiden through raw power, yet later ties hint at deeper affections fueling the stone. Yet as regions expanded, so did the nuance of these bonds. In later generations, developers drew a clear line between mere friendship and true affection. Two intertwined yet distinct forces shaping evolution. Friendship forms the foundation, a numerical value, invisible to the eye, built from walking vast trails together. Victorious battles that leave scars and stories, or vitamins that mimic nurturing care. It rises steadily, like a river carving canyons over time. Affection, however, blooms from intimate moments. The Poke-Ami sessions in Kalos, where you stroke a Pokemon's fur under pixelated sunlight, or the cozy camps in Galar, sharing curry by firelight as hearts flicker above their heads. Affection adds layers. Full hearts not only boost combat prowess but propel evolutions forward, sometimes overriding lower friendship thresholds or unlocking paths friendship alone can't touch. Eevee's family stands as the pinnacle of this distinction, its adaptable genes responding like a canvas to the trainer's soul. In earlier days, High Friendship at Dawn birthed Espion, the sun-kissed psychic, its gem forehead blazing with diurnal trust. At midnight, Umbreon emerged, rings glowing like protective wards forged in nocturnal vigil. But with Kalos came Sylveon, demanding more than time or hearts. It requires a fairy-type move etched into Eevee's repertoire, alongside a deep emotional bond. Imagine your fluffy companion, fur shimmering ribbons, learning baby doll eyes, or fairy wind through patient repetition. That move isn't just technique, it's proof of affinity, a fairy's whimsical energy harmonizing with the trainer's gentle spirit. Only then, at peak affection, do those ribbons elongate, weaving into elegant bows as Sylveon materializes, its feelers setting emotions across vast distances. Pokédex scholars whisper of fairy dust infusing cells, turning vulnerability into veiled strength. Riolu embodies this science even more viscerally, its aura-sensing body a barometer for relational depth. This blue cub, ever watchful, evolves into Lucario during daylight hours when friendship surges. But the process accelerates dramatically with tools like the Soothe Bell. Held close, this delicate chime, crafted from Sinnoh's tranquil alloys, doubles the rate of friendship gain, its soft tinkles resonating through the Pokemon's frame. For Riolu, whose cells hum with aura energy, the bell vibrates at frequencies that hasten metamorphosis. Walk the highlands, and each step sends ripples. Battle gently, and the tones amplify positive feedback loops. Within days, not weeks, spines sharpen, paws enlarge, and blue fur yields to Lucario's steel-clad form, eyes piercing with mastered ki. In universe texts describe it as cellular harmony. The bell's waves align misfiring proteins, kickstarting the evolutionary cascade, much like a conductor tuning an orchestra. This bell's magic extends beyond Riolu, aiding Eevee's kin, the Pichu line to Pikachu and Raichu, or even the shy Cleffa to Clefairy under moonlight. Trainers in the anime recount tales of Riolu, clutching the Soothe Bell during thunderstorms, its glow piercing the chaos, emerging transformed as if reborn from the storm's empathy. Yet not all bonds are serene. Some demand affection's full spectrum, like type, Null shedding its helmet into Silverly, though that's a tale for mechanical hearts. In Paldea, Leshonk's pudgy form slims into Oinkoloing through high friendship, gender splitting the paths, musk glands swelling with relational pride. These evolutions paint a world where Pokemon aren't mere beasts, but sentient partners, their DNA rewritten by oxytocin-like waves, pheromones exchanged in quiet grooming, or the subtle electromagnetic fields of unwavering gaze. Fossil records from Hisui suggest ancient clans revered such bonds. Wurdeer antlers twisting under noble riders' trust, paralleling modern mechanics. Fan theories posit Arceus wove affection into creation's fabric, a counterbalance to raw power evolutions. But while friendship and affection nurture from within, other paths forge strength through trial by fire. Recoil damage that tests the soul's endurance, where survival itself becomes the catalyst. Up next in Chapter 25, Recoil, Damage, and Survival Evolution unravels how Basculin bears the weight of fallen allies to ascend, and Primap's rage transcends into ghostly fury, leaving you wondering just how much pain a Pokémon can channel before it breaks through. While bonds of affection can nurture a Pokémon's spirit into forms like Sylveon, some evolutions demand a far harsher toll, forged not in warmth, but in the raw sting of survival itself. Picture the ancient wilds of Hisui, where Pokémon didn't just grow, they endured, their bodies rewriting themselves through wounds that would shatter lesser creatures. These are the Recoil evolutions, transformations triggered by accumulated damage, self-inflicted pain, or the brink of oblivion, turning trauma into triumph. In the shadowed fringes of that prehistoric region, evolution became a desperate adaptation, a biological gamble against extinction. Basculin, the fierce white-striped swimmer of rushing rivers, carries within it the echoes of fallen allies. Its Pokédex whispers of souls bound to its form, restless spirits urging it onward. But to ascend to Basculegion, the spectral behemoth, Basculin must court death repeatedly. Through battle after battle, it racks up recoil damage, 294 points worth, precisely, each blowback from its own ferocious moves carving deeper into its flesh. Why this threshold? Lore ties it to the weight of those lost comrades, their ethereal energy demanding proof of resilience. Only when the pain peaks does Basculin shed its mortal coil, rising as Basculegion, its body elongated, armoured in ghostly fins that slice through water like vengeful blades. Riders in Hisui spoke of it as a guardian born from grief, patrolling streams where weaker kin had perished, its evolution a vow never to fall again. This isn't mere mechanics, it's survival etched in blood. Pokémon scholars theorize these recoil paths mimic ancient cataclysms, volcanic upheavals, predator swarms, relentless famines that weeded out the frail. Damage becomes the catalyst, forcing cellular reconfiguration under duress. Much like how fossils from eons past show armoured shells thickened by repeated impacts. Basculin's line embodies this, from the basic aggressive schoolers to the towering, phantom-infused final form, each stage a testament to outlasting the agony. Yet the grueling path extends beyond rivers to forsaken bogs and crags. Take Galarian Yamask, that pitiful wraith clutching a fractured stone mask, its cries a hollow lament for the human life it once knew. Born from tragedy in the Galar region's fog-shrouded wilds, it wanders eternally unfulfilled until pushed to the edge. In battle, it must absorb heavy damage, at least 49 hit points, its mask cracking further under the assault, spirit fraying at the seams. But survival demands more. Weakened and stumbling, it seeks out the dusty bowl's looming stone bridge, squeezing through the narrow underpass. Legends say this archway, carved by glacial floods and etched with forgotten runes, acts as a veil between worlds. As Yamask passes beneath, the accumulated trauma ignites a metamorphosis. Its form twists, half buried in stone, emerging as Runerigus, the vengeful golem, mask multiplied into a hulking torso of immovable rock. No levels, no stones, just the raw grind of injury and a ritual crawl through Earth's cold embrace. Galar's miners avoided those bridges after dark, swearing the ground trembled with newborn rage. Quillfish pushes this theme into barbed absurdity, the poison balloon drifting through Hisui's toxic shallows. Inflated and prickly, it fires barb barrage repeatedly, 20 times no less each, volley shredding its own body with recoil, spines embedding and tearing free in a cycle of self-mutilation. Why such masochism? Its Pokédex hints at deep-sea pressures compressing its form over generations, demanding explosive proof of vitality. Through this barrage of self-harm, Quillfish swells grotesquely, barbs hardening into armour, evolving into Overquill, the armoured urchin predator, its body a fortress of retaliatory quills. Fisherfolk in ancient Hisui revered it as the spike porcupine, a creature that turned vulnerability into overwhelming offence. drifting no more but charging with lethal volleys. Evolution as a survival mechanism in response to extreme physical trauma reveals Pokemon's primal ingenuity. In softer eras like Kanto or Yoto, growth came through steady levels or traded bonds, but Hisui's chaos, noble distortions, rampaging alphas, these brutal rites. Yamask's bridge crawl evokes burial rebirths from global mythologies. Runerigus rising like an undead sentinel. Quillfish's barrage mirrors explosive defenses in nature. Pufferfish inflating against sharks, but amplified to transformative extremes. Basculin's recoil tallies the ghost steps of the departed, a numerical echo of communal loss. These aren't accidents. They're etched into the species' essence, triggered only when pain thresholds align with environmental crucibles. Consider the broader tapestry. Regional variants like these arose because Hisui's perils outpaced standard growth. Galarian forms, carried forward from Sword and Shield into Legends Arceus, adapted Galar's industrial scars into spectral resilience. Damage evolutions sidestep trainers somewhat, favouring wild tenacity, though a clever human might orchestrate the conditions, guiding their partner through the fire. Pokédex entries grow poetic here. Runerigus steals away the spirits of those who trespass, its trauma-forged body a prison for souls. Overquill shoots barbs poisoned with deadly toxins, each quill a memory of barrages endured. Basculegion surges upstream, carrying the weight of history on translucent flanks. These paths blur life and unlife, demanding you teeter on annihilation's edge. Fail the recoil count and you're left broken, surpass it and you redefine existence. In Hisui's noble era, surveyors documented clusters of these evolutions near disaster sites. Landslides for Yamask, poisoned reefs for Quillfish, whirlpool graves for Basculin, suggesting geographic scars as natural accelerators. Modern Paldea echoes faintly with terrestrial triggers, but nothing matches this visceral forge. As we trace these lines from pain-racked origins to armed apexes, the Pokémon world hints at even grander mysteries lurking beyond mortal struggle. Up next, Chapter 26 explores the legendaries and mythicals, where evolutions entwine with creation itself. Don't drift off just yet, or you'll miss how gods themselves transform. Survival through such brutal trials, like the Galarian Yamask shedding tears beneath that ancient stone bridge, or the Hisuian Quillfish unleashing barb barrage until its barbs pierce its own limits, reveals evolution's raw demand for endurance. Yet this transformative fire burns brightest in the rarest of Pokémon, those legendaries and mythicals who shun the endless cycle most others follow. Only a handful among them ever evolve, their changes not born of levels or stones, but forged in trials that test the soul itself. Consider the ethereal journey of Cosmog, the newborn star from ultra-space, a being of pure light and nebula wisps that drifts like a lost comet. It cocoons into Cosmom at level 42, hardening into a psychic fortress, its body an impenetrable shell echoing the birth pangs of galaxies. Then, at level 53, it bursts forth. Into Solgaleo under the sun's blaze in Pokémon Sun, a lion of steel and dawn light that devours the day, or Lunalow in Moon Shadow, a bat of spectral moon silver that eclipses the night. Pokédex lore whispers of their duality, guardians of time's flow, their evolution a cosmic rite where version-exclusive fates mirror the world's hidden binaries. You can almost feel the stellar winds howling as Cosmoem cracks open, spilling radiance across Alola's skies. But these are whispers compared to the engineered anguish of type. Null, created in secret labs by a fractured humanity desperate to combat ultra beasts. This synthetic warrior emerged hooded and feral, its multi-type RKS system crippled by a helmet suppressing its primal rage. Type: Null prowls as a ghost of failure. Its body a patchwork of synthetic flesh and restrained power, driven mad by the very restraints meant to control it. Escape came, but true freedom, that arrives only through trust, an unbreakable bond with a trainer who sees beyond the mask. As affection deepens day by day, battle by battle, the helmet shatters at maximum friendship and Null reforms as Silverly, Now it wields every type at will via memory drives, a loyal beast reborn, its mane flowing like molten platinum. Imagine the moment. The hood falls, eyes meet, and for the first time it knows not domination, but devotion. Silverlee's Pokédex entry calls it the synthetic Pokémon, yet its heart proves more alive than any natural-born legend. This theme of choice echoes in Kubfu, the Wushu Pokémon, a cub of iron fists, an unyielding spirit delivered to the player in a scroll from Mustard, the wise master of the Isle of Armor. Tiny yet fierce, Kubfu trains in the dojo's misty halls, its fur matted with sweat from endless katas, paws blistering against stone floors. But evolution demands a pilgrimage to the towers of Two Fists, twin spires piercing the crown tundra's savage peaks. On the Tower of Darkness, shrouded in howling blizzards and echoing roars, the other the Tower of Waters, lashed by crashing waves and relentless gales. Kubfu must summit one alone, battling wild hearts through 20 floors of fury, its tiny form battered but resolute. Which tower it conquers shapes its destiny. Ascend the Tower of Darkness, and Kubfu evolves into single-strike Urshifu, a black and red brawler whose wicked blow crushes with shadowy malice, fists like void-tempered hammers. Choose the Tower of Waters, and it becomes Rapid Strike Urshifu, blue-armoured and fluid, surging strikes flowing like tidal assassins. Both forms tower at 6 feet, but their essences diverge. Single Strike is the unyielding striker, Rapid Strike the evasive breaker. Lore ties them to the ancient warrior Mustard's own path, where Kubfu's choice mirrors the trainer's philosophy. Do you strike once to end it, or flow endlessly to overwhelm? The tundra's chill seeps into your bones just thinking of that solitary climb, the cub's defiant roar echoing off icy walls. These evolutions stand apart because legendaries and mythicals so rarely possess stages at all. Most, like the titanic Rayquaza or the dream-weaving Cresselia, embody perfection unchanging eternal icons immune to growth's whims. Yet exceptions like the Cosmog line type, Null to Silverlee, and Kubfu's dual paths pierce that veil, their lore hinting at deeper truths. Perhaps evolution among gods serves not power, but purpose. Volcanian steam vents are mythical unbound by lines, or the Regis Stone sentinels, fixed in form, reinforce the rarity. Even Melton, the quirky mythical blob from another world, devours metal to become Melmetal, a titan of gears and sludge, its evolution via the bizarre Let's Go ritual in a party of 25, bubbling up from trash cans in a frenzy of industrial hunger. Delve deeper into Melmetal's anomaly. Born from Melton clusters merging in Alola's junkyards, it pulses with magnetic life, eyes glowing amid riveted plates. Evolving demands a machine's embrace. The Arc Phone in Let's Go, channeling energy until the blob swells into a colossus, fists pounding like factory presses. Its Pokédex marvels at the mystery alloy within, stronger than steel, a nod to interdimensional mythology. Such outliers blur lines between myth and machine, much like Silverlee's lab-born redemption. Then there's Zarude, the rogue monkey mythical swinging through Galar's jungles, father to the human-raised baby in its movie tale, but no evolution mars its feral grace. Or the noble Calyrex, splitting into fusion forms with Glastria or Spectria via reigns of unity, a pseudo-evolution of regal partnership rather than true stages. These fusions, undone by separation, evoke ancient kings mounting steeds of ice and shadow, crowns glowing as psychic bonds ignite. Yet true evolutionary stages remain the privilege or curse of so few. Among older myths, Entei, Raikou and Suicune roam as reborn constants post-Lugia's storm, no preforms to humble them. Mewtwo, cloned Apex, evolves not at all, its psychic tyranny absolute from Genesis. But the Hisui region's ripples touch even legends. Consider the noble steed duo, Inamoris in Therian or incarnate forms, shifting not by evolution but ancient prayer, petals and fury interweaving. This scarcity amplifies the wonder. When a legendary evolves, it reshapes realities. Silverlee tames ultra beasts with reclaimed memories. Urshifu topples titans in the tundra's heart. Solgaleo and Lunala pierce dimensions. Their paths demand not just strength, but surrender. Trust for the synthetic outcast. solitary trial for the martial cub, cosmic alignment for the star child. Thank you to those of you who've been joining us night after night. If you're drifting off with this lore tonight, drop in the comments how many nights in a row, and if it's your first, just say night one, as we close this chapter on the legendaries and mythicals. Their rare evolutions linger like echoes in the void, but the horizon gleams with even wilder possibilities. Chapter 27, The Future of Evolution. Legends ZA and Beyond unveils transformations that could redefine everything from Kalos Remade to paradoxes unbound. Don't miss what awaits in that uncharted dawn, as we leave behind the towering trials of Kubfu, ascending to Urshifu through those ancient towers of two fists, and the engineered trust that transforms type. Null into the adaptable Silverly, a quiet question lingers in the shadows of Pokémon history. What lies ahead for evolution itself? Legends ZA, the next chapter in this sprawling saga set deep in the heart of Kalos, promises to redefine how Pokémon change, blending the raw power of forgotten eras with the pulse of tomorrow's world. Kalos has always been a cradle for transformation. Remember how Mega Evolution first burst onto the scene there? In the games that shook the foundations of battle, those shimmering stones, keyed to the unbreakable bond between trainer and Pokémon, unleashed hidden potentials. Charizard soaring with a monstrous wingspan, fueled by a blaze that scorched the sky. Lucario channeling aura into blades of pure energy, his form twisting under the weight of mega energy. It was temporary, a surge of ancient life force drawn from the Kalos region's core, tied to the legend of Cernius and Yveltal, life and destruction in eternal dance. But what if that surge returns? Whispers from the developers point straight to Lumio City, Kalos' glittering metropolis, as the stage for Legends ZA. Mega Evolution born in Kalos could re-emerge not as a relic, but as a bridge to new heights. Imagine Ordino's gentle healing waves, amplifying into a tidal force of restorative power, or Gudra's slimy resilience, hardening into an impenetrable urban fortress. The Kalos Pokédex entries hint at it, stones as crystallized remnants of infinite energy, now perhaps attuned to the city's electric hum, where trainers and Pokémon forge bonds amid towering spires and neon glows. This isn't just a mechanics revival, it's lore reborn, suggesting megaforms evolve further, perhaps permanently, through trials echoing AZ's own eternal kingly regret. Picture Lumio City not as we knew it, pristine and romantic, but warped by time. Crumbling boulevards overgrown with paradox vines, steel skeletons pierced by crystalline megagroths. Here, evolution might adapt to the concrete jungle itself. Regional forms have always mirrored environments, the fiery Alolan Marowak thriving in tropical heat, the icy Galarian Darumaka hunkering through blizzards, Hisuian Quillfish ballooning with barbed fury in ancient seas. Now in an urban sprawl like ZA's Kalos, we could see Pokémon reshaped by city life. A Lumiose Rattata perhaps, evolving sleek and shadowy, its fur metallic to blend with alleyway graffiti, scampering through subway vents with enhanced agility, born from dodging hover vehicles. Or take the humble Pidgeline, Pidgeot with wings streamlined for wind slicing between skyscrapers, feathers iridescent like digital billboards, preying on drone-like pests. These forms wouldn't just change types, they'd embody adaptation to human sprawl, where pollution sparks steel infusions or nightlife rhythms trigger dark ghost shifts. Pokédex lore supports this. Evolution as life's response to surroundings, like how Galarian Zigzagoon forages in trash heaps, evolving into the cunning Linoone that dashes across highways. In ZA's urban chaos, expect forms that thrive on electromagnetic pulses, evolving via exposure to city power grids or bonds forged in crowded Prism Tower battles. This brings us to the heart of Legends Z's timeline. A deliberate thread weaving ancient savagery into modern elegance. Hisui showed us protoforms, raw and primal, Sneasel slashing as a poison-fighting beast before softening into Weavile's grace. Overquill's barbed vengeance from Quillfish's recoil scars. That ancient era, Legends, Arceus' gift retrofitted evolutions into Pokemon's deep past, where clans tamed beasts amid feudal strife. ZA flips the script, thrusting us into Kalos' future or fractured present, where AZ's war-torn history collides with gleaming progress. The ZA name itself evokes reversal, from Zenith to Alpha, or AZ's infinite loop of loss and renewal. This timeline might bridge the gap by showing evolution as cyclical growth. Ancient mega-primitives, like hulking ancestors of modern stars, clashing with sleek urban variants. Fossils could stir in lumiose subways, omanite shells grinding against metro rails, evolving into forms that fuse prehistoric shells with cybernetic sheen. Basculin's spectral Basculegion, born from fallen souls' Recoil, finds echoes here. Perhaps Colossian Basculin absorbing urban ghosts of forgotten machines, bridging Hisui's wild fury to Kalos' refined battles. Developers have teased a world remade, with time anomalies like Scarlet and Violet's paradoxes, but rooted in Kalos' ultimate weapon lore. Evolution becomes the glue. Pokémon lines stretching from AZ's eternal Floette-fueled immortality through Mega Awakenings to city-hardened survivors, proving growth isn't linear, but a spiral of adaptation. Feel the weight of that possibility. Every line we've traced, from Bulbasaur's blooming maturity to Silverlee's reclaimed wildness, hurtling toward this convergence. Megastones pulsing in rainy lumiose nights, regional urbanites darting through fog-shrouded streets, timelines folding like a Mega Altaria's cloud wings. What secrets will Z unveil about bonds that transcend eras? Thank you to those of you who've been joining us night after night. If you're falling asleep with us right now, drop a comment with how many nights in a row, and if this is your first, just say night 1. Up next, chapter 28. The eternal cycle of change, where we'll uncover how evolutions loop back on themselves in ways that will leave you questioning the very fabric of Pokémon existence. As Kalos prepares to revisit those explosive mega evolutions and forge regional forms shaped by bustling urban sprawl, we circle back to the unbreakable thread weaving through every Pokémon world. The eternal cycle of change that has pulsed since the very first games. Over more than 1,000 species now roam these realms, each one a vital branch in vast, interconnected family trees that trace back through generations of adaptation and rebirth. Consider the sprawling canopy of these lineages, starting from the ancient whispers of Mew, that elusive ancestor said to hold the genetic blueprint for all Pokémon. From Mew's playful form, lines diverge like rivers from a primordial sea. The Nidoran family splits into male and female paths, culminating in the regal Nidoking and Nidoqueen, through moonstones that channel lunar essence. Oceanic origins flood many trunks too, with fossil revivals like Omanite, spiraling into the armoured Kabutops, their shells echoing eons of deep-sea pressure turned to predatory might. These trees aren't rigid hierarchies. They twist and fork with brilliant complexity. Take the Eevee lineage, a nexus point where one fluffy progenitor branches into 8 evolutions. Jolteon crackling with Thunderstone fury, Vaporeon shimmering like living water, or Sylveon weaving ribbons of fairy affection. Each path a testament to potential unlocked by choice and circumstance. Kanto's foundational branches set the roots deep. Bulbasaur swells into Ivysaur at level 16, then erupts as Venusaur at 32. Its back blooming with a flower that harnesses age-old solar power, as the Pokédex notes, drawing energy vast enough to rival a forest. Charmander's fiery ascent to Charizard at 36 grants wings that blot the sun, flames hot enough to melt anything in their path. Yoto adds friendship's gentle curve, Golbat's loyalty transforming fangs into Crobat's supersonic grace. Hoenn's Wurmple hides a hidden personality value, gambling on Silk or Cocoon to yield Beautifully's iridescent wings or Dustox's toxic haze. Sinnoh's Chimchar line fuses fire with fighting spirit into Infernape, the only such blend from that snowy region, while Location whispers awaken Sunflora under perpetual sunlight. Paldea's paradoxes and terrestrial blooms push the edges further, but every twig connects back. Mantine trading with a rain ribbon to claim the skies. Salandit females alone ascending to Salazzle's toxic allure at level 33. Or Basculin bearing 294 points of recoil damage to rise as Basculigion, carrying souls of fallen kin. Stuffle's deceptive cuteness hardens into Bewear's crushing hugs at 27. Tyrogue's pugilistic zeal splitting to Hitmonlee's kicks, Hitmonchan's punches, or Hitmontop spins based on raw stats. Over 200 families span 9 generations, from Arceus's mythic dawn through Hisui's proto-forms, Sneasel clawing into Sneasler amid ancient blizzards, to modern recoil trials like Quillfish barraging into Overquill, pre-evolutions like Azurill nestle retroactively under Maril's line, named always for the Dex's earliest kin, forming a phylogeny where no species stands alone. This intricate web of over 1,000 species and their interconnected family trees reveals evolution not as isolated leaps, but as a symphony of shared heritage, where a single stone's glow or trade's spark ripples across eras. Yet beneath the mechanics beats a deeper rhythm. Evolution as the ultimate metaphor for the bond between trainer